Yes. Yes. How we doing this evening? How we all doing? Doing the first live watch along on this channel. So I've never done one of these before, so let's see how we go. We're literally going into the ninth round of Joe Cordina's fight. I have it on. Obviously, I'm not going to show it on screen, obviously. But let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. So I don't know how long this card, right? I have a funny feeling, right? This fight's going to end probably as a decision for Joe Cordina. You got Robbie Davis Jr. next, then Katie Taylor, then Conor Benn. I've got a funny feeling we're looking at UD. So that's why I made sure to come prepared. I got the old drink with me. Got the Lucozade. So yeah, live watch along. Haven't done, and obviously there's gonna be no footage, and I don't have the commentary on. But let's have a look. See, you get listen to me over Mike Costello. I take that any day of the week. Watching this fight's been interesting. Joe Cordina is fighting this Belgium guy, and it's quite apparent to me that this Joe Cordina is definitely winning this fight. He's winning it comfortably. He's switching it up nicely, head and body. But it's weird, right? I think that there's times he could really be stepping on the gas a bit more. Like when I see him, there's been a few times in this fight. I've been watching the whole way through, where he's hurt into the body several times. The Belgian guy who's got a very long name, and it's weird because Cordina he's just stepping off the gas. Just from what I can see, it's like he's hurting the guy noticeably to the body, and he's just kind of letting this fight go through. Because remember, he got that highlight reel knockout on Fight Camp, and I was thinking again, good little shot there. The body goes in by Cordina. This guy's durable. To be fair, he is. He's taking some good licks in there. There's a minute and 20 to go in the ninth, and I will try and keep in touch with the comments. Have no fear of that. It's just a little bit trickier with this. I even upgraded StreamYard to make the camera quality a bit better. I hope it looks better and sounds better on your feed. But yeah, Cordina in complete control here. I've just got a bad feeling that we're going to see a lot of. No, I don't mean that. I've just got a bad feeling these next few fights we're going to see a lot of decisions. It's not too bad, but I can't see Robbie Davis Jr. getting a knockout against Henry Lundy. Can't see Katie Taylor's fight ending in a knockout, and I think depends what kind of Algieri we get. I've got a funny feeling we're going to see a negative Algieri. I just don't know why. I just have a feeling Algieri is going to go to the shot there from Cordino and then again. I just got a funny feeling we're going to see a negative Chris Algieri in the main event. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. But I know. Oh, good little count. Return. Left hook to the body there by the opponent. Cordina is a good fighter. I think his biggest problem is that he kind of he's good without looking remarkable, if that makes sense. So for me, when I watch Cordina, he turned over with guys like Josh Kelly, the athleticism of people like Kelly, the hype around kind of guys like Fowler, the way Sky pushed him along the way, and they've just not done that with Joe Cordina, and I think Joe Cordina is a very good fighter. I mean, out of all the guys who's turned over from Rio 2016, him and Lawrence Okoli are the only two unbeaten. And although Okoli's done a lot better things as a pro, he has. Cordina, Commonwealth British champion, and I'm sure they'll try and push him onto world honors in 2022. Going into the 10th round. Let's have a look see on screen what certain people are saying, because I have to do it like this. Where's the Echo Falls? You can't get Echo Falls in Ireland, mate. You can't get Echo Falls. Where's the piss bottle? It's over there. Someone says he's got a feeling that Algieri will take a dive. No. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I've got a funny feeling this is going to be Chris Algieri's last fight, because Chris Algieri, he's not really been looking. He hasn't been looking good since the Errol Spence fight. Let's be frank, right? And even before that, he was looking to kind of a bit worse for wear. So I think we're just going to see an Algieri look for a moral victory by going the distance. If he has success, I'd be really. If he hurts Conor Benn at any stage in this fight, I'd be very worried for Conor Benn, because Algieri can't crack an egg. He really can't. But you started his 10th round. Cordina's still looking strong, still looking fit. You know, still throwing them shots, letting the hands go. He has good hand speed, this Joe Cordina. He does. Quick question: do you ever watch any MMA, UFC? No, man. I'm more a casual when it comes to UFC and MMA, to be honest with you, mate. Like I know some of the guys, but in terms of sitting down and just religiously watching it, I don't. I very seldom do. Um, I just don't find it as entertaining as boxing. Having said that, I admire the guys who do it. 100%. I really do admire the guys who do it. I enjoy. There's been certain MMA fights I have enjoyed, and there's certain MMA fights I really do enjoy. But just it never took to me. I never took to it like I did boxing. That's the best way to describe it. Like instantly when I started watching boxing, I was hooked. I was just like, I need to watch more of this. MMA, I've tried it before, and I've just kind of, I think for me it's more a social thing. MMA, more good body shots coming in there from Cordina. I'm up against the rope again. Now for me it's more a social thing. Like if I'm seeing friends and they are into the MMA, and I watch it with them. But they put it like this: if you had a Matchroom Next Gen card and you had that going up against, oh, name me a big UFC fighter. Just I'm trying to think. Let's say Dustin Poirier. I'd sooner watch the Next Gen card than watch Dustin Poirier. You know, so there's nothing against him. It's just I much prefer boxing. And I'll read these comments now in a sec. We get this round over with. The midway stage of this fight, I thought Cordina was weird. He nearly lifted him up by the leg there. The midway stage of this fight, I thought Cordina would get him out of there. And I flicked on to the Dimitri Bivol fight for the first two rounds. And Bivol was looking good. Bivol was looking good. Bivol was looking like he was Bivol looked like he was just warming into the fight. No sort of way. It looked like he was just kind of warming in. He's looking to put on a technical show. And the guy that Dimitri Bivol's fighting, no head movement. No head movement at all. No head movement at all. Which is bad when you're fighting a guy like Bivol who's as accurate as he is. If you're not going to move your head, you're in for trouble. This Belgian guy is standing firm in the last round. I don't think Cordina is going to do anything. No. Last 10 seconds. Last 10 seconds of that fight. I'm surprised now, I have to say. The midway stage of this fight, I really did think Cordina, and the Belgian finished strong in the end. Fair play. But that's a win for Cordina, definitely. That's definitely a unanimous points decision. Obviously, I don't have the commentary or the sound on, so I'm just talking it as is. But yeah, that's definitely a win for Joe Cordina, 100%. 100%. Let's have a look, see through some of the comments here. I have to do it like this. This is so bizarre. But see, shout out to Nick Harmer. Big up G Man and with the family who joined the playback gang. Big up, man. If 35 in the chat, if you could smash the like button, really appreciate that. Yo, G Man, good to catch you live. Watch your live stream on the phone, split screen, man. Listen to me on commentary. If I do a better job, then email into the zone and say replace my Costello with G Man. The opposite with boxing, super casual boxing, but love your videos, bring up to speed. Man, appreciate that. Yeah, no, it's like I said, I've watched plenty. Like I have watched MMA cards, yeah, for a long time now. Even before McGregor was really a big thing, I watched MMA cards like UFC and stuff like that. But just it never really did anything for me. And when I did watch it, like if I'd stay up to watch a fight, it was with friends, so it was more so for the kind of social aspect. Like I remember the fight before Ronda Rousey lost to Holly Holmes. That was in Brazil, wasn't it? Where she fought, and I remember that night very well actually, because me and my friends we all went out that night, and we all went back to my friends to watch that fight. So, gee man, who's your favorite Irish amateur from the Olympics recently? Paddy Barnes, John Joe Nevin. Well, John Joe Nevin, he's done very little. Paddy Barnes, big up to Paddy Barnes actually. He is really he's speaking out about stuff, which he should be. Big up to him. Um, Out of the recent Olympics, there's not really been many to really sing home about. Like Kelly Harrington, I'm not really too keen on. She's all right, but I just think her style is a little bit ugly. You know, her style is just a bit like Katie Taylor. Her style, I don't know if that's going to translate well to the pro games. I don't know if there'll be many. I don't know if she'll be in the most entertaining fights. And who else? Some of the other guys. There's not really been many kind of guys like that out there, man. Big up to Matthias on boxing. Shout out to him. Good predictions. Good little channel. Dustin fighting tonight. Is he actually? Really? I didn't even know. I just that was just the name I picked. That was just the name I picked randomly. Uh, would love to come on your boxing channel. Next time I do a stream, man, I'll pop a link out for everyone. Um, I'll probably do another stream before Christmas, and I'll just do an open kind of like phone in, where it's like I'll just pop a link there for anyone who wants to come on. They can. Just with this one, we're doing just a live watch along, so we're just doing it 100%. Yeah, boy, big up to Calad. I hope I'm saying that name right, mate. Hope I'm saying that name. Yo, shout out to Limo. Big up to you, man. And Joe Cordina gets the UD. Not too bad. I thought he could have, shout out to you, man, every time. I thought he could have got rid of the guy. I really do. I think he could have got rid of the guy in there. There was moments there where I thought the body shots really were going to tell. Dustin Poirier fighting for the lightweight title. That was just literally the first name that came to my mind. To be honest with you, I didn't want to say McGregor because that's just so common. So I was thinking, who else? I was like, Poirier. Yeah, he beat McGregor, so that just came to my mind. So he's fighting tonight. I did not know that. But Dustin Poirier, the second McGregor fight was where he knocked him out, and yeah, that was a good knockout. You know, McGregor's not been looking the same for a while now. Pretty much after that Eddie Alvarez fight. You know, he had the fight with Floyd. He obviously beat Cowboy, he lost to Khabib, broke his leg. That was a bad leg injury he got last time out. So McGregor's been McGregor's been a bit all over the shop the last few years. Um, and I don't know. I don't know if he goes back to the octagon. I don't know how good he'll be. You've got Andy Lee doing the analysis with Tony Bellew and Laura Woods. Now, I don't know why Bellew, or I don't know why Andy Lee is not commentating on this fight, because as far as I was aware, he was the one doing the commentary with Mike Costello on prior shows. They have, I think, Darren Barker. Now, personally, I prefer Andy Lee as a commentator than Darren Barker. I think he's a lot more talented than Darren Barker on commentary. So I wonder why now he's a very good analysis too. Don't get me wrong, but I think he's a great commentator. It's just his scorecards can be a little bit all over the shop. But yeah, Bellew, Laura Woods, Maya Jama is never on these cards. She is literally never on any of these cards anymore. I think she is still part of the zone, but like I've heard rumors, and I've heard them just like online, not from anyone like specific. Um, so what are people online? People on Twitter were telling me this. She's on like 100 grand per show. Maya Jama, 100 grand per show. Crazy. I don't know if it's that much, but I wouldn't say it's far off that, man. But yeah. Yeah, what else do we have on the chart? I can barely see something. Have I seen the size of McGregor 190? Yeah, yeah, he's really I mean some people were saying they think he should go back down to featherweight. I mean, he's not made that weight in how many years? 5 years, 6 years? And look at the size of him now. I mean, do you want to kill the man? Bring him down to featherweight? I mean, he's got to be about 190 pounds now. So how much like do you think he's gonna have to cut? Like 40 odd pounds, 50 pounds? Kill the poor man. My Jam is back next week. All right, right. Yeah, I thought that. All right, I thought she was back on that show. So they kind of seemed. I prefer Laura Woods on commentary. I do. And did anyone see Probellum? Did anyone see the Probellum card? The first show they had with Sonny Edwards. I did. I watched that. I streamed. Sonny Edwards looked fantastic in his fight. Sonny Edwards is a brilliant, pure little boxer, and a lot of people really don't like Sonny Edwards because he gives it that on Twitter. I think he said himself he's unbeaten, not in just in the ring, but on Twitter. So a lot of people don't like him for that. But I have to say, Sonny Edwards, people keep saying like Martinez will do to Sonny what he did to Charlie. I think Charlie Edwards himself even said Sonny is better. And I think he said that years ago when he was world champion that Sonny Edwards is better. And I have to agree. Sonny Edwards is a fantastic fighter. And I don't think him against Cesar Martinez would be as straightforward as him against Charlie. I don't think that. I think that Sonny Edwards would have a good chance there. So we're seeing Joe Parker in preparation for his fight, which is next week against Chisora. It's really kind of gone under the radar, that fight, hasn't it? There's not really been much said about it because, yeah, there's not really been much said about that. Like it's kind of just it's come up. That's all right. Like they just kind of this fight's just kind of come. There's not really been any much said about it. I hope we see a better fight than the first time around. I really do. I think it'd be harder to get worse than that first fight. That first fight was that first fight was dreadful, man. Absolutely dreadful. Hopefully the crowd being there will make a big difference. I really do. Because that first fight, I mean, boy, that was something else. That was something else. I know Andy Lee won't be working for the zone that fight because he is the trainer of Joseph Parker, so he'll definitely be in the corner for Parker. So it'll probably be Darren Barker and Costello on commentary next week. If this live watch along goes well, believe you me, we'll do one next week. We'll do one next week for that as well. Cause I've been wanting to try. I've been wanting to try this. So that's why I updated StreamYard. I did everything. I now I'm paying for StreamYard. So that's how much I'm taking this serious. Like I not only did I do everything try and get the quality better, I even paid for it just to be guaranteed better quality. So I'm paying for StreamYard now. But before I was using the free version. So I'm hoping that the I'm hoping these live watch alongs work and they do something good. I really do. As we wait for Henry Lundy versus Robbie Davis Jr. Now Robbie Davis Jr. is working with Adam Boot now. Adam Boot is actually working with Liam Williams. It's very interesting. I find that an interesting move. Um, Obviously Adam Boot had prior experience training Chris Eubank Jr. very briefly, but he did train him. Trained him back in. I think he trained him for his fight with Spike O'Sullivan, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was. I think Eubank was trained by Adam Boot for that fight, and there was a fallout. I can't remember the ins and outs of that fallout, but there was a fallout between the two. So that's going to be interesting to see. Will that make a difference? I mean, Adam Boots' style is more an athletic style, if that makes sense. Like he likes guys to kind of be explosive, to kind of use their athletic traits to kind of get through a fight, use reflexes to dodge punches. I think Dominic Ingle might have actually been a better fit. May very well have been a better fit for Liam Williams as opposed to Adam Boot. I just think Adam Boot's style is tailored more so on athleticism. Now, Liam Williams, there's a bit of athleticism there, but he's more just the kind of guy who will just go and put it on you. You know, sort of way. It's just, I don't know if that's a good idea. Maybe it's because he'll know something about Eubank Jr. from having worked with him. Will the guy, name of the guy, Adam Boot, I've just said his name. G man, do you know if Richie Bird is training fighters or run the gym? I don't know, man. That's an honest question. I have no idea. I say be safe. Yes. So I just know myself. This is going to be. I'll be here for over 2 hours. Like you see, I think the longest stream I ever did is like an hour and a bit. So it's just going to be weird, man. I got 54 in the building, so if you could smash the like button, I'd appreciate that. But yeah, it's just going to be weird now. Just watching this because I'm used to just watching. You'll get to see how I react when I watch fights myself. Because like when things happen, I react. I do. Like it's gonna be hard not to f and blind if like just imagine we'll say next fight there's a one punch knockout. It's gonna be because I know I'm gonna be filmed now on YouTube, so it's gonna be harder to just stay seated. I think some people have seen me in post fights when there's been a kind of unexpected win or a robbery or something. I can get a bit animated post fight. And bear in mind, I would have calmed down before hitting record from what happened. Like when AJ fought Usyk, I was like, oh man, you got me calm in that post fight because I was like, what the? Yeah, I was like that the whole time. The Zone are just playing their commercials now. So as we watch. I'm gonna check the chat because the Zone are just playing commercials. So why not bring up the chat here and let's have a little look see. Let's have a look see about what's going on. Got a question. Who actually you on the straight Lucasade again? Yeah, obviously. Nothing but the best. You want the Lucasade, bro. Nothing but the best. Nothing but the best in Lucasade. Yes, nothing but the best. Did I see the knockout? No, I didn't see that knockout. I actually only just seen Sonny Edwards. Oh, Richie Burnett, the darts player. Is Richie Burnett a boxer now? I know Richie Burnett, the darts player, but he's a boxer. I thought the Probellum card was decent, good watching production, How is that dude Nietes was fighting? Wasn't told he was in a 10 rounder. Crazy. Is that way? Well, I didn't see Donny Nietes, but what was he? Did he was he in a 10 rounder? And he thought he was in a 12 rounder. I seen people saying about that. They were commenting on that on Twitter, and I happened to breeze what they were kind of alluding to. I was like, what are these guys saying? Nice kneecaps. Yeah, no. If it's not ripped jeans, it ain't going on me. That's just the way it is. If it's not ripped jeans, it ain't going on me. Algieri was promised commentary job for AJ's fight. Don't be telling me that. Don't be saying like that if he wins or if he does this, he'll get commentary jobs. Instead of giving Maya Jama, why not invest in decent British opponents? Yeah. Look, I've nothing against Maya Jama personally. I really don't. But yeah, like I've nothing against her, but I definitely think that she could be a little bit more up on her boxing knowledge personally. I remember that first week at fight camp. She called Tommy McCarthy Paul McCarthy. Do you remember that? That was crazy. And he said, "Oh, Maya only does big fights now." All right, that would make a lot of sense though, because if they are paying her X amount of money, you're really probably not going to want to pay her. You're not going to pay her like imagine if you're doing her like 10 shows a year. That's over £1 million a year if that's 100 grand a show. So big shows, yeah, that makes sense. To be fair, it does kind of make a bit more sense. Jamma sucks, G man. Be real. No comment, man. No comment. It's just I don't know who watches these, so that's why I gotta hold back a bit. But yeah, she's not what she. I prefer Laura Woods personally in every aspect. Found Echo Falls in Galway. Don't worry about it. Not worth the hangover. Yeah, yeah. I won't be going for no Echo Falls anytime. People have told me about that. They said like, look, if you can find it, my advice to you is don't drink it because you'll be absolutely just dead the next day. So I'm like, all right, and even then, people who have tried have told me, look, it's terrible. So even if you get it, it's not nice. So wait and see. They're showing trailer now for Kate Taylor and this Sharapova. I'm pulling for Sharapova to win this fight, man. She is a cracker. You know, one of them girls is too pretty to be a boxer. That's Sharapova. I was like, because I didn't know who the hell she was. Then I googled her going into this fight, and I was like, whoa, damn, this is a nice girl. So she's fighting Katie Taylor. That's going to be a hard fight for me to watch because I don't particularly like watching Katie Taylor. Like I don't really mind women's boxing too much, but Katie Taylor has a horrible style to watch. Like I really don't enjoy watching Katie Taylor fight to be honest because her style is just really really ugly. It's not a fan friendly style, and she needs to she needs an opponent who just kind of meets her in the middle and just turns it into a brawl like Pursoon did. Because them fights were entertaining. But the rest of the time, like if it's a boxing match, oh boy, that's not fun. G man, do you think Callum Smith's career will fade out? What do you mean? Do you think Callum Smith's career will fade out quietly after he moves up in weight? Um, it's hard to say, man. Like that was a good little knockout. To be fair, he got against that Lennon Castillo guy. Bivol went the distance with him, so yeah, like it was a good little knockout. Do I think he'll do much at light heavyweight? Again, like it's hard for me to say. I think that it seemed like it seemed noticeable the hunger kind of left Cam Smith a bit after he won that World Boxing Super Series because you got to think about it like this, right? It wasn't just winning that; he got an awful lot of money for winning that, got a world title, and he had a fairly straightforward. Like Usyk had a real tough division. He had a real tough, apart from Marco Huck, he had a real tough way to the top at that cruiserweight tournament. This wasn't for thing. He had that guy Eric Skoglund, who thankfully he had an injury after that fight, not from Callum Smith from a spar session. Thankfully, he made a recovery, and there was that. But he was kind of European level, really, realistically. Then he fought that kickboxer on short notice. He didn't look good in that fight. And then George Groves, who at the time he'd only injured his shoulder. That was September, and in February his shoulder popped out. So for me, it was a real case of being given that much money to do some fairly easy work. Let's be frank. I think the hunger kind of left a bit of Callum Smith there. So ring walks. Henry Lundy. Henry Lundy's only ever been stopped twice in his career, so you know. He was stopped against Terence Crawford, no shame there, and against John Molina Jr. a decade ago. So I reckon this fight's going the distance. I'd be very surprised, unless Henry Lundy is absolutely shot, unless he's completely shot to pieces. I suspect that we're seeing a distance fight. I think we're seeing a 12 or 10 round. I think it's 10 rounder. So there's no 12 rounders on this card, as far as I'm aware, actually. As far as I'm aware, they're all 10 rounders because Katie Taylor obviously isn't in a 12 rounder. Conor Benn isn't in a 12 rounder. So as far as I'm aware, every single fight on this card is a thing. Is a 12 yeah, every card on this I think is a 10 rounder. There's no 12 rounders as far as I'm aware. Which is strange. You normally get them. Let's see. Robbie Davis Jr. making his way to the ring. Let's see how this fight goes. Be interesting. Robbie Davis Jr. He had that loss where he started. That was I think on the Kelly undercard where he started real slow in that fight. Started real slow in that fight. I will see. The neutral corner says it is a 12 rounder. Is it? I'm I'm telling you, mate. I'm pretty sure that was a 10 rounder. I'll just check it here because I'm nearly 100% sure that was originally a 10 rounder. If they changed to a 12 rounder, that'd be interesting. That'd be very interesting. Oh, it is. Oh, geez. Because they did originally have that down as a 10 rounder. So that's good actually. Because if this fight does go long, then that's actually going to be interesting. Because I want to see how Conor Benn looks really late on in the fight. Because he's only ever been in 10 rounders. He's been a 112 rounder. That was against Vargas, and obviously it went in the first round. So if Algieri does be a bit negative and he can bring this fight a little bit longer, then it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting to see. Do you think Yard can take on Bivol, or should he fight local fighter like Joe Smith? Um, well, I don't think he beats either of them, mate. To be honest with you, and if you ask me who he's got a better chance with, probably Joe Smith. I say, I say he's got a better chance with him, but I wouldn't pick him over either. Just to be honest with you, man. G-Man, would you say Boots is the most athletically gifted welterweight since the prime Manny Pacquiao? Well, he's one of the most athletically gifted welterweights I've seen in a while, man. I mean, I say since Pacquiao, possibly. The athleticism on Boots is tremendous. It really is. I mean, one of the athleticism just jumps out at you instantly, and like he can fight as well. Like it's not just athleticism that you're just thinking, okay, well if it was pure box, he can box as well. He's a great fighter. Like he's an absolutely brilliant fighter. I think he is gonna 2022 is gonna be a big year for him. Henry Lundy, 31 and 9 losses. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see if he how he is against Davis Jr. Because every time Davis Jr. has stepped up to kind of any decent level, he's lost. Not saying Lundy is decent level, but like, what would you say, gatekeeper at this stage? Fair to say, gatekeeper. Is it with Adam? Yeah. Or no, Shane McGuigan, not Adam Booth. What was I thinking? Shane McGuigan is training Robbie Davis Jr. So be interesting because he fought on the Kelly undercard, lost to that Mexican guy, or was he Argentinian or somewhere like that. Then he had that little run out on the Chantel Cameron card. Did you watch Cordina fight? Thought it was a close fight. I didn't personally. Looked to me like Cordina was doing his job. Looked to me like Cordina got through that fight. All right. I don't know what the scorecards were because the sound off, but it looked like Cordina was well in control in that fight. Just for me personally, I'll read that before I do. G-Man, do you think the light heavyweights will dance with each other at some point? I'd hope they would. I think they will. I'd like it if Eddie Hearn could get Buatsi versus Richards because I don't think Buatsi and Vlasov is gonna come. I don't think Vlasov versus Buatsi is gonna happen anytime soon. I think they pull back on that fight. So Marcus McDonald refereeing, and here we go. Let's have a look see. So Robbie Davis Jr. Starting off with his jab. Trying to get the jab working. Henry Lundy. Instantly, I'm not kind of liking what I see instantly from him. It looks like he's missing with them jabs instantly, or is he just trying to find range? But Robbie Davis Jr. coming out, I think the issue I had with him when he lost that fight at the start of the year was that he literally just let that first half of the fight. He was dropped as well, but he let that first half of the fight just go instantly. And some body shots coming in there from Henry Lundy. Davis Jr. just looked a bit off balance there, but straight back on it and onto his jab. Now Henry Lundy's a vet. He's a vet, and he knows. Listen with the right hand. Henry Lundy knows what he's doing in here. He knows how to survive. Like I said, Crawford stopped him, and Molina over a decade ago. John Molina over a decade ago. The Crawford win, I think, was 2015, 2016, or the Crawford lost. Whoa, swing and a miss from Henry Lundy. He doesn't look. Something doesn't look right about Henry Lundy in there at all. I don't know if other people are watching that and seeing what I'm seeing, but he looks just a bit off. I don't know what it is. And Davis Jr. just pushing the action a bit, using this jab. Step in. So if I was him, I'd be saying to him, right, double up that jab and then maybe try and step in with the right hand and see what comes back. Strikes me, yeah, there's a swing and a miss again from Henry Lundy. It looks like he's just trying to go for big shots. So he's already swung and a miss with a left hook already in this fight, and he missed badly with an overhand right there. And yeah, into a clinch. So messy enough little start, but it's been Robbie Davis Jr. starting off okay in this. Lundy didn't make weight. Oh, did he not? Lundy's been fighting at 140. He's been fighting at this weight for a while now. He's been fighting definitely down here for a while, so and he's not getting any younger. And he's been around the block, make no mistake about that. So let's get a look, see here. Timing just doesn't look right for Henry Lundy at all in here. Just looks, yeah, another miss in the shot there. It looks like even from the outset, like when he started jabbing, those jabs didn't look like they had any authority on them. They just looked like they were just they were all falling short. It just looked like everything was gone. It's like his timing wasn't there. And messy enough start to this fight, but you definitely got to put that round in the Robbie Davis Jr. bank. And I wonder how much Lundy has rehydrated because he's trying to bring that fight to the inside and definitely looks a bit more. He looks the bigger man. He looks more physical on the inside. Robbie Davis Jr. just working the jab. Go. Good right hand. Good right hand from Robbie Davis Jr. He hurt him there. That was right on the. Oh, wow. Yeah, Lundy's legs look gone. They look absolutely gone. And yeah, that was messy. Oh, man, Lundy looks all over the place. So good right hand at the top of Henry Lundy's head to end that round. And his legs just done a dance. Wow. That wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. Holy sh! Let's have a look see here. So, that was a great little shot on the inside. Short punch on the inside. Lands right on the top of Lundy's head. Those legs were gone, man. Damn. That was a great little shot from Robbie Davis Jr. That was a great. Oh, man, them legs look all over the place. Because even when there's no shots landing in and they're just coming out of the clinch, his legs just don't look steady. So, great start to the first round. I really didn't expect this. I thought this fight, it might still go 10 rounds, but I kind of thought that Lundy would have a bit more success in this fight than he did. So great little start from Robbie Davis Jr. Great start. We'll see how this goes now. This could be quick, man. This could be a quick live. So, yeah, back on the jab straight away. How do Lundy's legs look? Just looking at his legs, they don't look... They look a lot steadier than they did, I'll say that. They definitely did, but let's have a look see. Yeah, no, looks like he's regained a bit of composure from that round. Robbie Davis Jr. is not noted as a devastating puncher or anything like that either. So I wasn't expecting that, but it was a great shot. It really was. It was a great little shot, and a good little shot there gets through the guard, and man, Lundy doesn't look right at all in there. Instantly, when that bell went and I saw him come across the ring, I was like, "There's something. He doesn't look right." So let's just see. He's not really. He's missed his time and walks into another little shot there. Walks into another right hand and then a swing and a miss. Man, Lundy looks terrible in here. Absolutely awful. And a good little body shot there goes in from Robbie Davis Jr. Yeah. Oh, he almost took. What was that? Was weird. It was almost like he touched down there. Oh, great shot, man. Referee. Oh wow, he's out of the ring. Whoa, what? He knocked Henry Lundy clean out the ring, and the referee. He's not going to get. He's not beat. Wow, damn. Wow. Now I didn't see that coming. Wow. I was thinking this had 10 round points decision written all over it. What a right hand. That was a great shot from Robbie Davis Jr. I did not see that coming in the slightest. Wow. And he knocked Henry Lundy clean out the ring. And the referee, jeez. That's what he, from the minute that fight started, instantly, I don't know if any of you noticed it, but even before shots were landing, I was looking at that and I was like, whoa, whoa, there's something. Simon there saying, aren't you meant to get 20 seconds if you go through the ropes? As far as I'm aware, I think I don't think it's like that. I think if it's kind of I don't know the ins and outs of it. I think you have to go. Some people say I'm not sure about that. I know you are allowed 20 seconds if you go through it, if you fall out the ring, but I don't know if that's the same with that. I think it might be. But what a right hand! Oh my days, that was a beautiful right hand. Landed right on the chin. I suspect with that he might have been allowed 20 seconds. Yeah, I do. I think they kind of chop and change with some. Wow, great. That was a peach of a right hand, honestly. But honestly, from the minute that first bell went, I was looking at Henry Lundy and I was like, he does not look right. He doesn't look right at all. You could instantly see that. Instantly see that from the minute, even to his legs, and that's a sure sign you got a shot fired there. Before a punch even landed, I was like, something not right with this guy. His legs don't look right. He's jabbing, but they're going nowhere. They're not even close. And I was like, this he shouldn't be there. There was something not right. Instantly, you could kind of. I don't want anyone to see that. Actually, I don't want any footage of that. I want it my poison for the night. I don't want to have any footage of this fight like showing at all. So just to be on the safe side. There we go. So yeah, I picked Robbie Davis Jr. to win that fight, but I thought he'd win it on points. That's why I was saying I was kind of thinking at the start of this stream that I'd be here for hours on end. That I'd be here for like about 3 hours because I thought they were all going to go with the points. There we go. So yeah, that's that was an impressive display by Davis Jr. I seen someone in the chat say that Shane McGuigan is making punchers. There's truth to that. I mean, it's quite noticeable, isn't it, that a lot of McGuigan's fighters they tend to punch quite a bit harder. They tend to punch quite a bit harder because they were great shots. Like Davis Jr., he had decent power. He wasn't feather fisted, but certainly he looked to be hitting a lot harder there than I'd seen him in the past. Yeah, people were saying he looked strained. Yeah, it'll be done in 3 rounds. Lundy does not look right at all. Yeah, so other people noticed it as well. That was a crazy, crazy. Yeah, other people definitely noticed it as well. Hank Lundy called out Crawford for a rematch. Jesus Christ. Um, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Man. But I liked what I saw from Robbie Davis Jr. I really did. I like what I saw. Him and Shane McGuigan. Shane McGuigan is a brilliant coach. Whether people like him or dislike him as a person, you can't not say he's not a good coach. He really is, and certainly seems to have his fighters hitting a lot harder. Like a Coley. A Coley's always been a good puncher, but the shots he's throwing now, they seem to have a lot more venom on them, and you hear them. Like you see at the public workout, you hear they just kind of. It's like bullets. You ever see someone? They could be a little welterweight, but if they're punching correctly, they're getting maximum rotation into the shot, and they're getting it with an upper part of the glove, they could be a little welterweight and they could be hitting the bag. It's just like it could be like that. Whereas you could have some big strong guy who's ramsacking the bag, who's just battering the bag, but they won't make the same noise. So yeah, McGuigan's a good coach, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how Robbie Davis Jr. goes from here. It's a good little win. It's a nice little win. I mean, he is the third man to stop Henry Lundy, so we'll see how he goes. Wow, Bivol down in the 12th round, really? He went down? Jesus. From what I saw early on in that fight, do we have the results for the Bivol fight? Does anyone have the results? If they want to pop it in the chat. Bivol down in the 12th round. I like one thing I love about the Zone app is it gives you the picture in picture. I like the picture in picture. I'll just G-Man and Tyen have the same color painting on the walls. Yeah, I didn't even notice that, man. I don't even notice the painting on my walls, but people notice that in Tyen boots. I don't even look at Tyen boots walls. Um, anyone know about the Bivol fight? If that's still going on or if that's just finished? Because someone said he was down at the 12th round. I heard was on his way to an easy decision. Now, was he down and then got up and went on to win the fight, or was he down and hurt? Like, is it still going on now? Because that's crazy. I always assumed Bivol had a pretty good chin fight to the level of his opponent. Yeah, I agree with that. You know, people say about Bivol that he can't punch. I think Bivol's a fair enough puncher. I think he is. I just think he's happy to go through and get these decisions. The guy he's fighting, meh, 19 knockouts in 26 fights. Split decision over that Sergey. Come on, that's not a good look. Getting a split decision over him. And the guys he's knocked out, Brian Howard. Oh, he knocked out Brian Howard. That's the guy F.A. Chagba knocked out a couple of fights back. Jesus. Bivol didn't go down at all. He cruised to victory. Okay. Bivol does do that. I think overdue is trolling. Oh, right. So Bivol did, yeah. I was wondering. Because someone said that, I was like, what? Bivol going down? Like, and I always thought Bivol had a particularly good chin. He never seemed to be a bit chinny. Yeah, I was wondering about that. But talk about let's talk about that fight we just seen. Because I'm probably still gonna do a review, like a post fight of Conor Benn. Like I'll probably finish this up as soon as that fight ends. But there's one thing I didn't expect to happen. I did not expect to see that type of knockout. It was a great little shot, and because it happened so early, all the interim fights have been done. Ade is doing an interview now with Robbie Davis Jr. Shout out to Ade. That's probably one of the that's probably one of the best kind of things that the zone did. They actually gave someone like Ade a shot because the rest of the team, like Laura Woods is good, Andy Lee is good, and that's it. That is literally it. That's literally it. But big up to them for giving Ade the shot. And Ade is a good interviewer. Like I like that. I like his interviewing skills. He's just straight in, ask the good questions, and then because I've spoken with him about it before, and I know what's going on. He's limited by time. He's got a microphone or thing in his ear where it's like, look at this kind of stuff. So it's crazy. You don't think of that when you're watching it, which is crazy. How come you changed the color of the thumbnails? Yeah, so I like the old thumbnails, the pink and white, because it's the same color as the logo. But I don't know. I just felt that they needed to be a bit more jazzy. Like I needed to just because like I'm changing the color for all thumbnails, so all the thumbnails from now on are going to be different colors and different backgrounds. And I don't make them. One of my mates makes them for me. Um, one of my mates Dan makes them for me, and big up to him. He does a great job making them. For me, it's like I just decided like that it's the same thing over and over again. At least if I kind of add and make it a bit more jazzy. And to be honest with you, they've worked so far because the views are up this week since I started changing them. From all the videos I've done, they've all had different thumbnails, and the views have all been up. Like Chris Lloyd. Chris Lloyd's all right. I've never really been a big fan of Darren Barker, to be honest. Even on the Sky days, I wasn't a big fan. He's all right. Mike Costello, not for me, man. Some people like Mike Costello. If you do, that's your choice. But Mike Costello for me, I just don't enjoy. If it was up to me, you get Barry Jones on commentary because I like Barry Jones and I think he's excellent. And who would you get as the main kind of commentator? Who would I get? In the UK, I don't mind that guy from MTK. What's his name? Steepman. Like, I actually think that's quite a good combination. Alex Steepman and Barry Jones. I actually think they're quite good together. I think they've got a good little bit of chemistry, and I think they're both. But Barry Jones is an excellent commentator. That's why I was quite surprised. Personally, I find Costello just slightly monotonous. Monotonous. I just think that Mike Costello. I've said this before. Not John Rowland. No. Not John Rowland. I don't like. I'd actually probably prefer Mike Costello over John Rowland, to be honest with you. Um, John Rowland is good at darts. He's a good darts commentator, but he's not a good commentator when it comes to boxing. Ian Dark, yeah, Ian Dark is a good commentator. It's just he does football now, though. Like, I would love it. The only reason I say Ian Dark is because they probably have to offer him an absolute rake of cash to get him back on commentary. But if they did, Ian Dark and Barry Jones would be brilliant. Ian Dark and Barry Jones, really. See, I like, yeah, John Rowland, to his credit, at darts he's all right. He's all right at darts. He is an all right dart commentator. But at boxing, oh my days, he is just the worst. Shout out to Karma, destruction. That's my line. That is the first thing I put in those post fights. Because you know why? It's the first thing I can think of. I want to make the video stand out. And what do I say? Just say destruction. There you go. Destruction equals views. And thank you, my dear, for the 20 quid. I appreciate that. Have a great day. I'm at work. Working on Saturday. All right. Big up to Karma. Big up to you, my dear, every single time. I appreciate you supporting the channel, as always. And yes, I'll do a review of Conor Benn versus Chris Algieri after this stream. And you can bet your bottom dollar I'll put destruction just for you. Even if it's a snooze fest, just for you, I'll put destruction in the title. Even if it's a snooze fest over 12 rounds, your boy is going to put destruction just for you in that title. Yeah, shout out to Fred Fight Talks. Big up to Fred every time. The main interviewer in boxing, I don't know how you do it, but you're at all these shows, bro. And credit to you. Credit to you, man. Fred's only about 17. He's had me on his channel because he interviewed me a couple of weeks ago. That interview is still there, actually, on Fred Talks Fighting. And kid's only about 17. He's got a great future ahead of him. Great future ahead of him in the world of interviewing. Because he's already in these shows, interviewing fighters, interviewing, some of the people who are there. And I think his interview skills are brilliant. So putting in work, as someone said there, he's got a tremendous future ahead of him. He really, really does. He really does. Big up to you. But yeah, Ian Dark is good. I love Ian Dark. Ian Dark and Barry Jones. My kind of, I like commentators who are a bit, they just speak it like it is. Like, for example, right, F1. I love Martin Brundle. I absolutely love him on commentary. And people don't like him because he can be sarcastic. He can be, what's the word? He can be sarcastic. He can be, what's the word? A lot of fans in F1 are always on about safety. But Martin Brundle is old school, and I like that. He's just like, look, it's a dangerous sport. It's always going to be that way. People don't like him for that, but he tells it like it is. And I always liked his commentary. And I remember what was it? Some of the things he's just said on commentary have just been funny. I remember there was a driver saying he can't do that, and all of a sudden you'll hear Martin Brundle just chime in. Well, he just did. And in darts, Chris Mason. Chris Mason watches my videos, believe it or not. I couldn't believe that. I remember he rocked up in a chat one day, and he was rocked up in one of Ade's chats, and it was like, yes, this is the Chris Mason from like the darts, and I was like, holy shit. And I was like, Chris Mason watches my, because I like Chris Mason. I've always liked him as a commentator. Ever since ITV, I found darts. I always liked Chris Mason. I'm like, he watches my videos. Damn, Chris Mason watching my videos. You watching the F1 tomorrow? Of course I am, man. Verstappen all the way. I'm crossing everything. He's on pole. Verstappen all the way. Please let Verstappen win. Please. Please, God, let Verstappen win. I really want him to win that World Championship. He deserves it. He's just been amazing this season. He really has. A big fan of Max Verstappen. I'm crossing everything he wins tomorrow. And yeah, I'll be watching it tomorrow. Ignoring my question. What did you ask about Coogan, mate? Oh yeah, should Coogan? Can Coogan walk upstairs properly? That'd be my question. Um, Coogan isn't a bad interviewer, though, to be fair. But yeah. Oh, stop, man. Costello is good. And bring Naz onto commentary. Yeah, I don't mind Naz. How do you get into F1? Mate, I've been into F1 since I was a kid. Like since I was about like my granddad watched it, and like one of my earliest memories was like when I was 2 or 3, hearing the name Michael Schumacher, and just being hooked on it then. So I watched Michael Schumacher religiously. And I remember not liking Mika Hakkinen because he was a rival of Michael Schumacher. And obviously, the older I got, the more I realized Mika Hakkinen was a gentleman and was a great driver. But I remember at the time, like I would have been only about 4, I used to think Mika Hakkinen was like evil because he's racing Michael Schumacher and he's beating Michael Schumacher. Uh, Gerwin or MVG? Oh, Gerwin Price every day. I like Gerwin Price. And again, he's a character. He's a people don't like him because he gives it a lot, and I just don't get it. I really don't get it. I like Gerwin Price. I really do. Always like Gerwin Price. Even before he was a good darts player, I was a fan of watching him because he was just different. I mean, most darts players, you see them, and no offense, but most darts players are carrying a bit in the midriff. They're not exactly the slimmest, and you have this big, muscly ex-rugby player who's just nice, abrasive. You just don't get that. You don't get most darts players nowadays. I mean, shit. Ah well, it's only a drop. I don't know if anyone's seen that. Hopefully not. But yeah, Mika here, Team Mika here, great rivalry. Yeah, Mika was a great driver. Big ups from Glasgow. Have I ever seen the movie Rush? Yes, I have. It's a great movie. I like that movie. I like that movie a lot. Um, if you've never seen the movie Rush, I recommend you watch it. It's a great film. Yeah, no, it's a really good movie. Some of it, Nicky Lauder says himself, is a little bit inaccurate, but he says for the most part, it's like 80% spot on. That scene with the reporter where James Hunt beats up the reporter, that was fake. That didn't happen. But for the most part, it's been good. So we are just waiting on Katie Taylor versus something Sharapova. And someone earlier in the chat said whenever they see that name, they just think of Maria Sharapova, the tennis player. And I got to admit, there's been a few times where I've been like not wanting to say Maria because I know it's not Maria, but when I see the name Sharapova, that's the first thing that comes to my mind is a tennis player, Maria Sharapova. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. But she's fighting next. I tell you one thing. I tell you one thing. These guys, this card, right? This card, I didn't. I expect to be kind of fully in going on, like talking about Davis Jr. and this fight being a dull 10 rounder. It's not that. So let's have a look. See. What else do we have? Did you see the Sonny Edwards fight? Yeah, I seen it. Boxed very well. And his trainer, Grant Smith, absolutely brilliant work from Grant Smith. Grant Smith's a very good cornerman. Very good. And I think that there's some great trainers in the UK that we don't hear enough of. And Grant Smith being one of them. I think that Grant Smith is extremely good. He's an extremely good cornerman. Very good. And I think that he's very underrated, criminally underrated. I don't know why. Maybe because he's only really got Sonny Edwards now at the minute, as far as I know. He's got other fighters as well, but who else? He's got other fighters, but Grant Smith's an excellent trainer. Excellent, very good boxing brain. And you see, that's why I say about Sonny Edwards. Sonny Edwards has a brilliant boxing brain. And I've always said the fighters who have a real proper understanding of the sport and religiously watch it, they tend to be they tend to stick around, excuse me, a lot longer because they have that kind of already, they have that insight already into how kind of the game goes. So they like look at it like this, right? I remember when Jamie McDonald fought in Inoue, and we all knew Inoue was lethal. And he was kind of laughing, like, I've never seen him before. And then I looked at a clip of him, he looked all right. I don't really watch boxing. Well, he knew all about it in that first round, I'll tell you that. You're making me feel a little old now. Schumacher was about the other debacle in his later life. Michael will always be like, no matter what Lewis Hamilton does, Michael Schumacher, in my opinion, will always be the greatest. Devin Peterson and Dimitri Vandenberg are entertainment. Yeah, they are. I like both them guys actually. They're both cool. They both have good thrones. Darts is a fun little sport to watch. I just prefer F1 and boxing, but darts is fun. But yeah, Mason's a great little commentator. And again, people don't like him because it's a bit controversial. But he says it like it is. He says it like it is, and he's not one to hold back his opinion. And I always listen to a Chris Mason interview. Hamilton or Verstappen? Hamilton or not Verstappen? Verstappen definitely Max Verstappen, 100%. It. I really hope Max Verstappen gets this. I really do. Peeps, 74 in the chat and 47 likes. If you could, help your boy out and smash the like button. Anyone got a link to the card? Nah, mate. And I have it in the description that there's no footage. So, yeah, there won't be no links. This is a watch along with no footage. There's no footage. Did I see the interview with Michelle and Tyson? Is that Michelle Joy Phelps and Tyson Fury? He seemed really weird in it, like he was really really raging. He needs to fight Dylan White. Shit, White in his opinion. I haven't seen it. I'm assuming you mean it was on Behind the Gloves with Michelle Joy Phelps. I don't really watch a lot of Tyson Fury's interviews, to be honest with you, man. With Tyson Fury, there are certain fighters I like watching, but I don't like watching their interviews. If that makes sense. Some of them, it's just you're listening to it and you're just like, oh, there's certain fighters I just wouldn't listen to interviews. Like the AJ interview where he was on about the step aside. That was interesting, and it was weird. Someone was because I said in that interview he contradicted himself, and someone was commenting saying, "You'll make a video when AJ contradicts, but you won't make one when Fury does." Well, if I was to make a video every time Fury contradicts himself, I'd have a Fury video every single week because he always does it. The new thumbnails are better. Yeah, big up to Dan. Big Dan. He's the guy who makes my thumbnails, so big up to him. You know, best in the business for making thumbnails. He really does do it. He really does do a great job on them. I love these thumbnails. They're great. So Sharapova versus Taylor's happening right now. Well, it's not right now, but we're getting ready. Sharapova's on her way to the ring. Big up Sharapova. I actually do hope she wins this fight. I don't think she will. They'll probably give it to Taylor, but anyone open for an upset in this fight? Yeah, well, I hope she does it. I'd be pulling for. Seeing the documentary on Senna, where to watch. You mean the Senna movie? I've seen that movie before. It's good. It's sad, but yeah, I've seen the Senna movie loads of times. I've seen that. I have a strange feel. I have that feeling too. It just has the upset feeling, doesn't it? I have that feeling too. Um, Katie Taylor is slowed down for definite. Only a devoted fan can watch the interview with Coogan interviewing Prince Patel. You mean the one where the cup from a couple of years ago? Yeah, yeah, I remember that. And do you remember the interview with Coogan? Like it was after Coogan confronted Prince Patel, and then he interviewed him. I think it was the start of this year. And literally, the first thing Patel does, he says, "Well, Coogan ran Nate and Cassius loves pussy in views." I would have loved to have seen Coogan's face when he said that. Yeah, Prince Patel. Is he still called? I think he called out Sonny Edwards at one stage, like a little while ago. Katie Taylor is Irish. How can you wish she loses? Well, I never go by where someone's from. I don't care if they're Irish, if they're English. All I say is may the better man win, and I've no horse in the race. But this Sharapova one, I quite like her. She looks good, so if she wins, I'll be pulling for her. If Katie Taylor wins, so be it. But I've never picked someone to win a fight because I really want them to win because they're Irish. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. And I think Katie Taylor, I think she's there for the taking at this stage. 35, and she's definitely slow down, slow down a lot. Kayla's got some tight wins and hasn't looked great in her last few, so an upset wouldn't surprise me. No, I mean, look at the Natasha Jonas fight in the amateurs and look at the fight this year. I mean, in the amateurs, Katie Taylor just walked through her. That wasn't even competitive. She even dropped Natasha Jonas. And fast forward 9 years, That's weird. I just couldn't. But I really, when I heard Taylor was fighting Jonas, I was like, that's a mismatch. That's an absolute mismatch, and it wasn't. Just because I have the memory of their amateur fight in my head, and I was like, no, she'll definitely win that fight. Pretty straightforward, Katie Taylor. She's done it before already. Wasn't like that. I don't support people because they geographically live closer. Yeah, I've never. There are Irish fighters I'd like to see do well, but that doesn't mean I'll pick them to win any fight. You know, so if there's Irish fighters like like for example Jay Quigley, I was 100% convinced he'd get beaten and beaten badly by Demetrius Andre, and I was right. Same with Luke Healer. And Luke Healer, I don't know him personally, but I know people who do know him, and they've all said he's a good lad, and I definitely can see that. But I have to call it like it is. He was never going to beat Demetrius Andre, so that's why I didn't pick him. And there'd be loads of Irish fans at this fight because Liverpool is only across the pond. Like literally, I think Liverpool. It's quicker to get to Liverpool than it is to get to several other other places in Ireland. So yeah, I'd say there's going to be an absolute rake of Irish fans at this show. At this show, so I've got my Lucas 8. Do you know about Aidan Welsh G from Ireland? I'll be honest, I can't say the name rings a bell. Before this fight starts, I'll have a little look see at him because the fight isn't started yet. What's his name? Aidan Welsh. Is he a boxer, mate? Yeah, he is. The amateur from Belfast. I can't say I know much about the welterweight. Nah, if he won the medal, yeah. I don't. I can't say I've seen him, to be honest with you, man, because I don't follow the Irish amateur scene religiously. But I'll keep an eye. There's some good little pros that have turned over now. To be fair, that I'll be keeping an eye on in the amateurs. Definitely, Katie Taylor has done more for boxing 100%. She's definitely got a lot more people in the country interested in boxing. I'll tell you that. I noticed that myself. Like there is a lot more Irish people watching it. But let's see how this goes. What gloves is she using? This is I love boxing gloves, so I'm just fascinated. Because Katie Taylor normally uses Rival. They don't look like Rival to me. I want to see what they are. I've never seen. I didn't recognize the logo on them. Conor Benn versus O'Hara Davis is war. That's not a bad scrap actually. That's not a bad scrap. Is O'Hara Davis versus Conor Benn? O'Hara Davis. That's see O'Hara Davis can bang. What gloves are they? Oh, they're the Leon gloves. They they're used a lot in like Spain and France. Them gloves, and I tell you, they look absolutely massive. Like, have you ever seen them gloves? Sam Egan uses them, and I don't know whether I don't think they're horsehair, but they look huge. Like anytime I've seen them on a fight, they look massive. Leon, I mean, like Carlos Takam uses them. There's a good few use them. Sharapova has Reyes. I can't stand Reyes fight gloves. They absolutely are horrible. If you've ever worn a Reyes glove, it is one of the most uncomfy gloves you will ever wear. Honestly, it is one of the most uncomfortable. I don't know why. I mean, where the fuck did I put that? There we go. It's one of the most uncomfortable gloves you'll ever wear. Is a Reyes glove. I'll tell you that from experience. That's why I wouldn't see. Some people use them because they're punchers gloves, and they think like a puncher's glove means you'll be hitting harder. Not necessarily, because you have a higher chance of hurting your hand. I always use fly gloves because I just prefer the feel of a fly glove. If I watch Katie Taylor sipping on Lucas Age, your boy is living the dream. He really is. So, Katie Taylor versus Sharapova. I cannot pronounce that first name. Hence the reason why I'm not saying it. Right. Right. So, we've had one fight that went didn't go the way I thought it would. Went a lot quicker. Let's see how this fight goes. So, getting instructions in the changing room. One thing I've said about Katie Taylor is that she doesn't appear to be very big at this weight. Now, And she turned pro for her first, I think, 2 or 3 fights. She was fighting at super feather, then went to lightweight. Every fight I've seen of her at lightweight, she's been smaller than the girl she's been fighting. So it makes me wonder if she could do super feather or even at a push feather, would she be a bit more effective? Saying that now, she's 35, so it might be very difficult now at this stage of her career to go down a weight division or two. But stranger things have happened. Here we go. Let's have a look-see. So, Sharapova straight away getting the jab working against Katie Taylor, jab to the body, and then throwing some more body shots actually. So, quick start from Sharapova. Again, I don't know why Taylor's using them Leon gloves. Just curious, because very seldom you see fighters who aren't fighting in Spain and kind of France use them. They wouldn't be a glove I'd recommend personally. Sharapova's jab looking good straight away. Early on, that jab was finding the home. And what is going on here? This DAZN stream is so choppy. And I'm using the app, the DAZN app, so it shouldn't be. So Sharapova doing well. Good work in this first round. So she is with that jab. Katie Taylor is just probing, waiting. Katie Taylor's looking to jump in with, fast, explosive shots. But Sharapova's keeping her at bay with that jab, up on her toes, popping it out. Tell you lads, this is going to be interesting. Yeah, good right hand gets in there from Sharapova as well. First minute of this fight, Sharapova's been doing some good work. Katie Taylor lets them combinations go, but they seem to be just kind of falling short. It seems clear to me Sharapova has the longer reach in this fight. It's quite apparent, it seems. Sharapova came out the blocks quick. She did. She definitely did. She's winning this first round, in my opinion. Yep, another good jab, or another good right hand that she throws in there. And again, Katie Taylor's not, see, Sharapova is doing something that I think you need to do against Katie Taylor, is just keep her at range. Because what Katie Taylor's trying to do is she's trying to get in, use her speed, and land some counters. She's not getting in, because Sharapova's not letting her. She's keeping her at bay with that jab. So first round to Sharapova. I was almost going to call her Maria there, but yeah, and another nice little right hand she lands on Katie Taylor. There you go. That first round was all Sharapova. All Sharapova in that first round. So Katie Taylor, I'm telling you now, I said don't be surprised if we get an upset because Katie Taylor is slipping. I wouldn't be shocked to see what she's trying to do. Katie Taylor's whole thing is to get inside, let her shots go, and just kind of pepper you with some fast, explosive shots. All right, that's always been her thing. Sharapova had a decent amateur background. If you go and actually look at her box record, you see she had a couple of good few amateur fights. And she's from Kazakhstan. They school them well in kind of that part of the world. So she's using her height and reach. And she's keeping Katie Taylor at bay. Let's see how this fight goes. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see. Because when you really, it's quite apparent Sharapova has a significantly longer reach from what I can see anyway. So let's see how round 2 goes. Any difference? So Katie Taylor now actually jabbing with Sharapova now, whereas before she wasn't. Before she was just trying to look for head movement to get inside. She's actually jabbing with her now. I think she realizes, okay, I'm not going to get in just with head movement alone. And yeah, she's throwing a lot more jabs. There you go, trying to get in and land some shots there. I'm surprised she didn't jab as much in the first round because, yeah, another jab from Sharapova gets in, hits Katie Taylor. That's interesting. Sharapova's not a bad fighter, from what I can see. Anyway, some people were saying that they didn't think she looked like much, and I kind of thought, well, she's not as. Oh, some good shots there landing from Katie Taylor, though. Definitely rocked the head back of Sharapova. I said the jab that Sharapova was having success with in the first round, she's using it here, but it's falling short. And Katie Taylor is kind of doing a good job of evading it now. I wonder if she just needed a few kind of little bit of time just to get settled and acclimatized, because she's definitely having a bit more. Like the first minute of the first round was all Sharapova. First minute of this round, it's been more Katie Taylor. I haven't really seen Sharapova do much now. Taylor using her head movement there, yeah, good effect. Lands a little shot, and Sharapova does get caught on the way in though. Let's see. Yeah, Katie Taylor's own punches are falling short. See, Katie Taylor definitely the reach isn't with her because she's throwing shots there and they're falling short. She's trying to jab with it, tried to jab to the body and it fell short. Good right hand. from Sharapova. Lands, hits the guard of Katie Taylor, but still, though, she's able to find a range. She found the range a lot better than Taylor has. And Taylor, again, missing with some of them combinations. So Sharapova is smart to that. Now, this round here is a closer round. I think Katie Taylor's just nicked this round because Sharapova, although she's not really taken many shots, she's not really done much herself. So for me, yeah, Katie Taylor round in this round. Let me know how you guys have it in the comment section. Unless something, yeah, that's the Katie Taylor round in my opinion. Gee, man, can I put a link from people, or will you get? Oh man, I'll get in. Man, you'll get the stream. You can't put a link in unless I have you as a moderator. But if you did, it could get the stream. Nah, man, it could get the even if it was in the comment section, you could get the channel in trouble. So sorry, man. Yeah, 1-1. I agree. That was a better round from Katie Taylor, definitely. I was looking at that first round and I was thinking she can't adjust to that. She's got to adjust to that because the jabs from Sharapova were spot on in that first round, but definitely she looks a little bit better. Almost settled at home. Yeah. I'm struggling not to say Maria. I'm struggling with that, lads. Every time I hear Sharapova, I just think, oh yeah, Maria Sharapova, the tennis player. So, into round 3 we go. One apiece. Again, battle of the jabs again. Both ladies coming out landing jabs. Katie Taylor Sharapova definitely pressing a bit more in this round. Certainly straight away. Missing though. She's missing. Oh, good right hand comes in there. Katie Taylor slips it and rides it well. Oh, great. Some lovely little shots from Katie Taylor go in there. And some combinations to the body. Sharapova answers back. Turn it onto an inside fight now. That was a great little combination from Katie Taylor though. Eye-catching. I think about Katie Taylor's combinations. They catch the eye of the judges because they are, when she lands them and she gets them going, they're fast, they're explosive, and it catches the eye of the judges. She was struggling to get inside in the first round, but maybe now she's finding the range. Maybe now she's able to time the jab of Sharapova, get underneath and get in there and get her shots off. I'd like to see Katie Taylor use her own jab to get inside. Something people neglect is how you, even if you don't have the longer reach, you can use a jab to get inside. You just double up on that jab, it'll blind the opponent. You move, use head movement, you should be able to get inside, land some shots. But Sharapova just keeping it at range. She's throwing the jab. It's not landing. It's just grazing Katie Taylor's glove, or it's falling short. And I'm someone who I don't like. There's a little exchange on the inside. I don't like seeing someone throw a shot with no intention of it landing, if that makes sense. So when you're throwing a shot, you know it's not going to land, but you throw it anyway. I just think that's a bit, I don't know. That's different. If you're not looking to get inside, if you're looking to keep it at range, and you're looking to put a beat, oh, good right hand there for Sharapova lands in on Katie Taylor. I don't see the point in throwing a jab for no reason. Again, just misses with a right hand. This is an even Stevens round. I would say that Katie Taylor's combinations are winner of this round, personally. I think Sharapova is having some success, but I don't think she's landing enough. So for me, it looks like Katie Taylor is nicking this third round. Just from the combination she's been throwing, and yeah, right hand goes in. Open to interpretation that round. I would give it to Katie Taylor just on the basis that she was landed a few more shots. Yeah, tough round to score, Colin says there. Yeah, it was. Personal opinion, Katie Taylor just nicked that round. No biased, but I would give that round to Katie Taylor. Yeah, it was a great little combination, I have to say. 2-1 Katie Taylor, yeah. I think that's the consensus. It was a great little left hook she landed. I followed that up with a right hand. Tell you one thing, underrated shot in boxing. I used to use this. I would use the jab a lot. I would maybe throw 1 or 2 jabs, and then maybe tease, like feint the left hook, throw a jab again, and then throw a left hook lead, but then follow up with a right hand. The amount of times I was able to land the right hand on people sparring doing that. In the round 4 we go. Katie Taylor again. I think Katie Taylor, the worst mistake she made in that first round was she neglected her own jab. Now that she's brought her own jab into this, she's having more success. She's getting inside a bit more. She's landing them shots on Sharapova. Definitely. It's quite noticeable. It's a good right hand from Katie Taylor again. Is that some marking under the left eye of Sharapova, I see? Definitely, yeah, a little bit of swelling there as well. It's not massive at the minute, but be interesting to see. That could get a lot worse. So Katie Taylor definitely. I have to say, right, just Taylor's looking better in this fight than I remember her looking in her last few fights. Just from the outside looking in, she's looking a little bit more just upbeat and up for this than she was against Jonas and the fight before that. Definitely. Man, this is on stream. I swear to God, it's so choppy. It's like chopping in and out. It's crazy. Just waiting for this. This is on stream, right? And I've been using it the whole way through, and it's been fine so far. And now all of a sudden, when I bloody need it, it decides, nah, let's stop working. So we're gonna persevere, though. We're gonna persevere. So if you want to tell me what's happening, because for some reason the zone don't want to work for me. There we go. So the round is over. So I missed half that round. Who would you have given in that round? Because for some reason the zone stream that I'm using, and it is on the app. I'm not going to show you, but it's on the app. Just decided to lag. Good right hands from Taylor. I'm guessing the general consensus is Katie Taylor would be what, 3 rounds to 1 up? Is that kind of what I'm thinking? Yeah, 3-1 Taylor. 3-1 Taylor. Okay, not much that round. Quite clinchy. Yeah, she can fall into clinches a bit, so she can. Let's see. This fight's going by a lot quicker than I'm liking the watch along. I am. I have to say, I'm liking the watch along because it is making these fights go by a lot quicker. It is. There's certain times I wouldn't. I'd just be like, oh, will this fight end? And no, definitely, it's making this fight go by a lot quicker. So what Taylor is doing is good, but I think what Sharapova needs to do is just when she sees Katie Taylor coming in and is getting into it. Oh, those heads came very close together there. She needs to try and keep it as range as much as she can. When she sees Taylor coming in, literally take a step back. If she's still kind of in range, throw a right hand. That'd be the advice I'd be giving. Right now they're in a clinch, and it looks to me, how's Ting have it? All right, Darren Barker has it even. He gave Taylor the first round. Really? He gave Kay Taylor the first round, and he gave Sharapova the second. I mean, literally, no. That's the other way around. It should have been. So subjective scoring, but that's bizarre. You give Sharapova the first. You didn't give Sharapova the first round where Katie Taylor did nothing, but she had a better second round. You don't give her that round. Crazy. This round's kind of more even, Steve. There's not really much happening. It's been clinches a bit. And Taylor trying to land the combinations, but not really getting much in there. But at the same time, Sharapova's not really doing much either, and they're just kind of falling into clinches now. Yeah, referee's calling time. What's he? Oh, he's having a word with Sharapova about the heads, maybe. The heads are definitely the heads have come close a few times. The heads have come close a few times, but look, that's what happens with inside fighting. It does it can be messy at times, and yeah, like when they're both kind of born into them clinches, so I can see the heads coming together a bit. So really, this round five, give it to whoever you like. Not much has happened. Not an awful lot has happened in this round five. If I had to pick someone to give it to, I'd probably give it to Katie Taylor, just based on work rate. The fact that Sharapova's landed very little. Like, look at that. She's thrown 3 shots in a row. None of them have landed. She threw a shot to the head, shot to the head, shot to the body. They all missed. It wasn't like Katie Taylor blocked them. They all missed. So, I don't know. I would probably give Katie Taylor that one there. Taylor doesn't look comfy. 2-2 for me. Hoping Taylor pulls away down the stretch. Katie Taylor landed the cleaner shots. Yeah, I'd give Taylor that round just on work rate. Looks like there's a bit of blood on Sharapova's. It's coming from somewhere because it looks like there's a bit of blood on her thing there. Ebony Bridges being interviewed at ringside. There you go. The blonde bomber. Ebony Bridges. I'm trying to wonder what they're saying. I have no idea. But how are we seeing it? 3-2 to Taylor. 3-2 to Taylor. Yeah, consensus is that Katie Taylor's winning this fight. That seems to be consensus. This Sharapova's game, definitely. She's not a bad little fighter. It's just I think I think she's wasting shots. She's jabbing, which is good, trying to keep Taylor at range, but she's not landing by any. And when Taylor's going in, she's landing them eye catching shots. Yeah, there you go. Into a clinch instantly within the first 5 seconds of the sixth round. And these fights just go by so quick. Whoa, good little shot there by Sharapova, gets in. Katie Taylor looks a bit off balance, but it's very messy on the inside. Very, very messy. Extremely messy up close. Katie Taylor again bores in, but Sharapova lands a shot there. And just the technique went out the window there with with those 1-2s, but nevertheless, still keeps Taylor honest. And she's trying to get out of there, but I just following Taylor around the ring a bit there. I don't know, it's looking a bit sloppy in this round by both girls. It's looking okay. Taylor walked in, took a right hand on the way in there from Sharapova, so that's the interesting referee calls time. I have a funny feeling Sharapova is going to get a telling off for that. Yep, 1 point. 1 point. She hit Taylor on the break. It wasn't a massive shot, but she did kind of clip her on the break. So I thought now he'd give her a telling off, but that's a point. That's a bit dubious, I have to say. And if we're talking about a close fight, that's the difference. That could be the difference. So if you give Sharapova this round, I think that was a bit. Yes, that was harsh. It wasn't like she landed a big Hail Mary punch in the break. It was a little kind of punch that went in the break. It wasn't that. I think maybe a warning would have been better. Because put it like this, I've seen a lot worse. What about last week when Bradley Skeet fought? That was a lot worse. So Sharapova is going to have to be between her teeth. And that was rough. Katie Taylor definitely looks a bit uncomfy in there, but I think that's going to relax her a bit, knowing that she's got that point advantage. If we end up going to the scorecards, which it probably will. So let's just see how we get on from here. Little body shot from Katie Taylor comes in there now. To be fair, good right hand from Sharapova. Good right hand. I would say in this sixth round, I would just edge Sharapova's work slightly. Just slightly, maybe. It's a very messy start of the round, but saying that, she got a point deduction. She got a point deducted. BS taking a point. Taylor gets to hold. Yeah, that was very harsh. Let's look. Like, she's the hand free. Good. She's the hand free. Gets hit. They kissed. Literally. They kissed in that clinch. Jesus. Wasn't the worst. I'm assuming they took the point away for that. Sharapova is a poor woman's Lovejoy. Nah, she's better than that. Jesus Christ. Christopher Lovejoy. Man. He's always got a place on this channel. That guy. I've never seen anything like it. I can't believe that people even thought he was good. There was I remember when he was announced as Dave Allen's opponent in one of my prediction leagues that I am. There were people picking him to beat Dave Allen. Okay, so good little start to this round. Again from Sharapova on the jab. She's really going to have a bit between her teeth now, I can imagine. Just given the fact that she's down a point, and this fight's in Liverpool. Irish fans, it's not going to be the easiest to get a decision over Katie Taylor. She's definitely been game. She's given Taylor some issues in there. But I suspect Katie Taylor is in a lead now, especially with the point deduction. Although, it's not some bad work from Sharapova so far in this round. It's not bad. Well, that's a good little combination. Katie Taylor there actually was very good. She gets inside and heads coming very close together there. Yeah, Darren Barker has Katie Taylor up by 3 points now at this stage. Some good work on the inside from Sharapova there. Landing them body shots on Katie Taylor. She looks bigger, Sharapova, definitely. For me, anyway. She looks the bigger, stronger of the two. Forearm coming in on the head of Katie Taylor there. When it gets to clinching, it is quite rough. Seems very rough with her. But, yeah, good little shot lands there. So, flicking the jab out, and Katie Taylor, yep, straight into a clinch. So, see. Kay Taylor for me is getting the better of this round just slightly, just ever so slightly. See, but still missing, and yeah, head comes close together. The heads are coming very close together in some of these clinches. Sharapova, someone said Sharapova's working hard there, yeah, but Taylor just needs to be landing. Yeah, Sharapova, yeah, referee's having a word with the girls again there. Sharapova, I think what Kay Taylor is doing is smart here in a sense. Sharapova's working hard, very hard in this fight, but she's not having much success with it. See, again missing, and Kay Taylor, good little counter there. And I wonder are they feeling the pace? I wonder are they feeling the pace because Sharapova's missing a lot of these shots now and again. Ended the round throwing shots but not really landing. Not really landing. I wonder how we have it. I'll just do a quick little check on Discord and see how some of the boys on Discord have it. Yeah, most of them have Katie Taylor on board as well. How do we have it going into the seventh or the eighth round now? It's the eighth. How do we have it? I don't know why Katie Taylor doesn't use her feet to get out of range. Nor I. She does have quite quick feet, and that's a good little shot she lands on Sharapova there. Sharapova, the left side of her face getting a bit swollen now. Swelling is starting to come up there now. The ref really wants to be the center of attention. Some referees do that. Like if referees, especially if they're just starting out and it's their kind of first major kind of event, you'll notice that they'll always try and have words with the fighters. I've seen that on a few shows in America. They've done that in the past. Yeah. Hey, that first round was a bit of a false dawn. I thought Katie would have more trouble than she has. It's not been the easiest, but Sharapova hasn't been able to. She started very good in that first round with her jab, but it's really just been falling short ever since. It's been very untidy in the clinches at some stage, very untidy. So she, she's able to keep Katie Taylor at range, but the minute Katie Taylor comes in inside, she's got no real answer. Sharapova needs a KO. Yeah, I agree. I think so. She hasn't shown that kind of punching power to be able to really buzz Katie Taylor or hurt her. So yeah, I'm getting a good shot there by Katie Taylor. In and out, using her feet actually to get in and out of range. And then go into a clinch again. It is very messy in the inside on the clinch, I will say that. It is quite a bit messy. And Katie Taylor footwork stands out. She's got quite quick feet, so I don't know why she doesn't use them because you can use your feet to get in and out of range. I think when she gets in, she just stands in there too long and doesn't move her head enough. Just watching that little combination go in. Yeah, Taylor again missing slightly with that combination. Sharapova looking to get again. They come in very recklessly in the clinch. It's been messy. It's the best way I'll describe this fight. It's been messy. Yeah, if you could hit the like, as Andy says there in the chat, it's definitely been messy. But I think Katie Taylor is on her way to winning this fight. I think that someone said in the chat Sharapova needs a knockout to win, and I agree. I do, and I don't think she has that power. I think she's worked very hard in this fight, and I think she might be running on empty now at this stage. We're going to the ninth round, next round. Ref is the real test. We will know if Pursuin has removed the paddock from her chin. The Pursuin fights were actually quite good. Say whatever you want, but the Pursuin fights were actually quite fun. They were. So, we go into these last two rounds, and then we're into the main event. Conor Benn, Chris Algieri. Serrano versus Taylor. I'd probably pick Amanda Serrano in that fight. She's fighting next week on the Jake Paul card. I'm still a bit sad that we're not seeing Jake Paul, Tommy Fury. I was looking forward to that fight so much. I was really looking forward to that fight. Oh, come on, the zone. Sort your bloody stream out. Like, there we go. The frame rates in this DAZN stream have been appalling. Like they've dropped so many times. And I've streamed and watched like cards before. Like I've had loads of cards in the background on, so it's not anything to do with the Wi-Fi. It's just the frame rates in this DAZN stream. And I updated the app and everything. It's been so choppy. She might get knocked out in the 9th or 10th round. What does that say? I thought something went up on screen just there. It's starting to work a bit more. Yeah, I think she's. I don't think she will. I think that she's kind of running on empty now at this stage. I think. Gee man, who would you pick between? Oh, I'd go for Serrano in that fight, mate. I would. I'd pick Amanda Serrano. Just like Amanda Serrano's a good fighter, and again, Katie Taylor starting off this fight well enough. Well enough, landing the shots, getting out of range. Still got hit with a few jabs there. The head movement of Katie Taylor's always been something that I've really struggled. Like she just doesn't move that head enough. Like when the jabs are coming in, it's just one after the other. She doesn't move it enough. And the stream is all right. Maybe it's the phone. I don't know. I've used it on the laptop before and it's been fine, but there's been a few times I've had the zone streams going and they've been a bit choppy, and a few other people complained about that. And there we go, into a clinch again. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that I've got. Although I've had loads on before, I've never had an issue with the zone streams. It's perfect now. Touch wood. Yeah, nice little shot in there from Katie Taylor. I think Sharapova's tank might be running on empty now at this stage. I think maybe Katie Taylor's on her way to just coasting these last few rounds. Although she's trying, is Sharapova, it's not really landing much. And I think she's just looking to try and land anything. I don't think there's any real, doesn't look like there's any setup work going on here. So yeah, bores in and takes a shot on the as she's leaving that exchange from Katie Taylor. Taylor looking to land the right, falling short. Sharapova again goes in, takes the right hand on the chin for her trouble. Doesn't really seem to land anything effectively, but is still trying to get Taylor backed up again the ropes. Missing again with the jabs. Jabs coming in, just flicking that jab out. No real authority, no real power on it, and then walks onto a right hand to end the round. Another round in the bank for Katie Taylor. She's just landing the more consistent shots, more eye-catching shots. And Sharapova, I think, is going into the last round, and I don't think she's going to have an answer. It's the 6-3 for Katie Taylor. Yeah, the point deduction really didn't help. Paul versus Fury was a 50-50 fight regardless what the Furies. Yeah, I haven't been too impressed with Tommy Fury. Yeah, 87-83. Darren Barker has it for Katie Taylor. That's about right. That's about spot on, I think. I think that's fair. Sharapova definitely in the first round started out very well, but I think it's slowly kind of, and she looks tired. Katie Taylor's already up off that stool. When they're slumped with their back in the chair, that's kind of at the back of the chair. That's kind of how they're running on fumes. Remember, Lennox Lewis did that against Klitschko. So here we go. Last round, 10th round. I'm just trying to see what both girls do. Oh, little right hand goes in there from Sharapova. Nice little right hand lands. She's opening up some combinations, throwing them like Katie Taylor's body. Katie Taylor in the clinch again. Sharapova a bit low, but oh, she landed some shots there. Definitely working hard in this round. Landed some shots on Katie Taylor. I think she knows she needs a stoppage. She needs a knockout. And I'm worried now about the stream as well, because that stream is lagging something terrible on my end. The stream yard. I know when it does that, it doesn't tend to be good. It tends to mean that the stream is like a bit all over the place. Referee breaks two girls. They're just in a clinch. I'm just watching these two in a clinch. There's not really any shots going. I think both girls are feeling the pace of this now, to be honest with you. Who wins between Savannah and Shields? I go with Savannah personally. Sharapova up on her toes, takes a right hand. That hurt her. That looked like it hurt. You can see the facial expression change when she was hit with that right hand. It's like, this stream, I swear to God. Yeah, they're just holding on now at this stage. Okay, I gotta ask, these guys who are using the zone stream, are you having the same issue I have? Because this just seems to be all over the shop. Good body shots are getting thrown in there. Katie Taylor, she's had the more clean, effective punch, and definitely it's Katie Taylor's fight now. Shane Blue and College Sport. Yeah, big up to Dell. Dell's doing a few Watchalongs. Another left hook comes in from Katie Taylor on the inside. Sharapova's just smiling now at this. I think she knows what's up. I think she kind of knows at this stage what's up. Decent performance from Katie Taylor, I have to say. Oh, no. They're just working up on the inside, but Katie Taylor should survive to the end, and I would imagine she's going to get this decision quite comfortably. Yeah, as the referee breaks them up. That is the fight. That is that fight in a nutshell. So, what are we thinking? How do we score this fight? How did you have it? I'm assuming everyone had Katie Taylor 6-4, 6-4 Taylor. She got the Kazakhstan flag on there. You know, the Kazakhstan flag going. I think maybe a moral victory to be able to get to 10, but we'll need to see what the scorecards are. What I might do is I might mute the mic so I can listen to the scores being read out, just so I know kind of what the scores are, because I think that they'll take it. I don't even think you're allowed to show any audio or anything. Yeah, most people are saying 6-4. It was messy. It was messy at times in there. It has to be said, it was messy at times. But we'll see. We'll see what the scorecards are. They're running the trailer for Conor Benn. Sharapova point. Yeah, that point deduction was harsh. It was very harsh from the referee. That point deduction was extremely harsh. I think that was real unfair from that referee to do that. I think that was real unfair for him to do that. But let's see. Let's see. Do they have the decision? I might just do that. I might just mute the mic and just play the decision for here, because I don't want any claims or anything like that. So I'll mute this. Okay. 98, 92, 97, 93, and 96, 94. That's pretty much what the guys had there. That's pretty much what the guys all had it on there. UD win, Katie Taylor. Yeah, is what it is. I thought that she done enough to nick it. It was competitive, don't get me wrong. Sharapova is definitely game, but another win for Katie Taylor. And we'll see. Sharapova could be useful. She definitely could. Sharapova can definitely still do things. She definitely can. So it's what time now? What time are we at? We're at 10 minutes to 10. So I reckon Conor Benn's fight will be starting. Probably they'll interview Katie Taylor and they'll probably just do Conor Benn then straight after. I can imagine that's how it's going to be. So that's going to be interesting to see how that fight goes. Certainly. See Conor Benn versus Algieri. Don't know what happened there. Apologies for that, peeps. Apologies. Hopefully, I can maybe get rid of that, edit that out. Apologies about that. Yeah, G-Man has taken a quick trip to Spain. He'll be back soon. No, I had a feeling that was going to happen. Once StreamYard starts getting a bit glitchy and the stream started chopping a bit, I had a feeling that was going to happen. It was just a case of getting back in. Hopefully, that won't do that before the end of this fight. Yeah, but I had a feeling that was going to happen. It's you can't see what I can see. When you're on StreamYard and it gets a little bit choppy, that's kind of when you know there's going to be some issues. There's always issues with StreamYard. I knew that. I just knew that was going to happen, but it's no big deal. As long as it doesn't do it again, then we're good to go. Look at that. That's what you call consistency. 70 something in the chat. Or 80 something still in the chat, and I was gone for how long? I was gone for a couple of minutes, and you all stuck by. You knew I'd come back. Yes, you knew I'd come back. So, Katie Taylor done what she needed to do, and we're into the main event now, or we will be anyway. So I want to know what your guys' picks are. You think Conor Benn is going to stop Chris Algieri, or do we think it's going to be a case of 10-round points decision? As Katie Taylor is being interviewed now, I reckon they'll have the eyes on this Amanda Serrano fight next week. I reckon that's going to be the big thing. Her against Serrano. That's going to be kind of the main fights that they'll try and get done next year. So in female boxing, you're looking at like Marshall and Shields, and you're looking at Katie Taylor and Serrano. Someone's saying they can see an upset in the main event. I'm going to be honest with you, mate. Right? I'll admit this. Right? I didn't have that feeling going into the Kiko Martinez fight. I never had that feeling, but I really don't. I don't have any feeling of an upset. I think this is going to be a straightforward Chris Algieri going the distance. He's experienced enough not to get stopped. Karma says there. Yeah, yeah. I think that's how it's going to be. I hope I'm wrong. I'd like to see a bit of excitement, but you've got Algieri, whose style has never been particularly fan friendly. He's never, even in the fights he's won, like he's never really had the most kind of fan friendly style. And Ben, Ben's all right. He's improving, but they're trying to sell this as a massive fight. It's like a big step up. It's far from it. Far from it. Conveniently going to Spain. They wouldn't let me into Spain. I couldn't get into Spain anyway at the minute. As it is with all the travel, you know what's going on. But yeah, you hope Ben loses. Yeah, a lot of people like. I think what Eddie Hearn is doing is it's not really helping Conor Benn too much because a lot of people are kind of like, oh, we don't like Conor Benn because you're trying to sell us that, he's this, amazing fighter, but yet he's fighting guys, like Chris Algieri. I don't think people are liking that. I can't really blame him, to be fair. I mean, I personally can't blame him for that. So there we go. But man, this is going to be fun. Look forward to this main event. We see how this goes. These live watch alongs, I'll tell you one thing. I knew it would be long, but I'm running out of things to say. It's like going nearly 2 hours now. It's going nearly 2 hours. We've got 78 people in the building, and that's been fun. Has been fun. So we get this main event in, and we see how that goes. And then who knows? Maybe I'll do one again next week, and we'll see how that goes as well. For the Partridge's Aura fight, that undercard is still pretty good. Even though we don't have Bawatsi on it, that undercard is still pretty good. People are saying the Katie Taylor interview was hilarious. The post-fight interview. Hello from Tyrone. Big up, man. Yeah, Eddie's saying that they want to take the Amanda Serrano fight in MSG. See, if they done that fight in MSG on Paddy's Day, you're seriously talking about, like, that's like Ireland. Like, literally, you will have all of Ireland come out for that fight. I've got another drink as well with me. I've got the old glass of water. You do talk a lot doing this. So, yeah, it's a wild one, isn't it? I've got Lucozade in one glass and water in the other. Doing well, aren't they? Doing well. So we should be going into this fight pretty soon. Team Benn are just in their dressing room. last preparations. So I'd imagine we're going to see the ring walk for this fight reasonably quickly. Nigel's there as well. So I'd imagine literally it's going to be a case of this commercial break probably go into the main event. They might talk a bit about Katie Taylor, but I'd imagine we're going to get into this main event pretty quickly. And we'll see. Originally, this fight was meant to be a 12 rounder or 10 rounder because I remember clearly on BoxRec they had it listed as a 10 rounder. I think everywhere I had it listed as a 10 rounder. I think there was meant to be a 12 rounder on this card because Jordan Gill was meant to fight for the European title. That didn't happen. And I wonder, did they just decide, okay, we'll put this, we need a 12 rounder, we'll put this fight as a 12 rounder. Because as I said, Benn against Granados was only a 10 rounder. Benn against that Formella guy, was it Formella? Was Fundora, whatever his name was, not Fundora, but remember the guy he fought last year? That was a 10 rounder. He's been 10 rounds a few times, but never 12. He's been in 12 rounds, fight scheduled 12 rounds, but never actually gone the full 12. So, be interesting to see how many rounds this takes or how he looks. If it's it won't be fought at a frantic pace though, I'd imagine. So I'd say he'll be okay if this fight does end up going long. Because I just can't see being fought frantically. I don't think Algieri has it in him to fight this fight at a frantic pace. You know, sort of way. Like I think it's just going to be he's going to be defensive. He's going to be worried about what kind of Benn is coming, and yeah, I just don't. I don't see this. I don't know. It could be wrong. It could catch fire. I hope it does. I just don't see. I see Algieri probably is a bit too wily to be able to get stopped, but I just don't think he has it in him to be able to really challenge. If that makes sense, I don't. I think he'll just kind of leave it, let this fight flow. You know, if we had the Chris Algieri who fought Amir Khan, that'd be an interesting fight because that Chris Algieri was still useful. That Chris Algieri could box a bit, but what happened with the Jordan Gill fight? I saw a draw, but I can't see it on stream. It was a clash of heads. It was a clash of heads, and it was before 4 rounds. So you know when a fight has to be stopped by a clash of heads, accidental, they can't go to the scorecards. It's like what happened with Warrington versus Lara. So it's listed now as a draw. That's just what happens. I didn't see the fight, so I can't say how Jordan Gill looked. But he was meant to fight for a European title. But I wasn't exactly looking forward to that fight because the guy he was meant to be fighting only this year, Lee McGregor knocked him out in the first round. The guy Gill was meant to fight for the European title, and bear in mind, Lee McGregor's a bantamweight, and this fight was going to be a featherweight. So I wasn't exactly looking forward to that fight, but yeah, it was a clash of heads. And as in the rules, if it's before 4 rounds have been completed, well in America, depending on the commission, they'll rule it a no contest. In Britain, with the board of boxing control, they rule it as a draw. So irrespective, I mean, regardless of how good you were doing, if it's a clash of heads, it's a draw. You could have dropped the guy 3 times in the first round and twice in the second, headbutt in the third, draw. It's the way it is. It's just the way it is. And that guy was a journeyman. I think he had 11 losses, so they're hardly going to be going, all right, let's get a rematch. It's not viable. But Gill was probably would have. I can imagine Gill was on his way to winning the fight. Jordan Gill's all right. He's all right, but I think European would probably be his kind of limit. Maybe European in around that kind of level would be in around Jordan Gill's kind of ceiling. So main event is up and coming. Looks nice. Looks actually quite packed in there. So Conor Benn, Chris Algieri, 12 rounds for WBA Continental Welterweight title. I've seen someone earlier say that Benn was looking a bit kind of tight on the scales. Benn's not a massive welterweight. So unless he's been lifting a lot more weights, I can't imagine he's going to be struggling too much at welterweight, just in my opinion. Eddie Hearn said they were getting the top 15 opponents. Yeah, I know. I remember that interview. And I remember shaking my head the minute I heard it. And he said top 15, uh, Victor Ortiz, Robert Guerrero, or Chris Algieri. I was like, none of them are top 15. Like, what? None of them are top 15 opponents. Why are you saying the top 15 for? None of them are. And I just, for me, like, how can you say your world, like Dell said this before and he's right, how can you say your world level, but you won't fight at European level against Avanesian? Like, I'd love to see that fight. Who do they have here? Is that Nigel? I think that's Nigel. Yeah, it is. It's Nigel. They've got Nigel with Tony Bellew and Laura Woods. We'll see. It's going to be interesting to see if Ben how he looks in this fight. If Algieri is negative, I'd like to see if he's improved his skills at cutting off the ring. Because against Granados was able to stay out of harm's way just by moving. You know, he wrote the shots very well. And Ben really just seemed to struggle to kind of cut the ring off and just get the grips with things. So Ben just showing some training montages here. Who thinks Coogan is sniffing? What's that say? Disappear at later out in the late hours. And God knows what them guys do. God knows what IFL. You know, Coogan and Umar, IFL Umar. God knows. Oh man, tired man. Hey, I look at Ade and I think these live watch alongs must be easy. Nearly 2 hours, just non-stop. It's fun, but like, damn. If I'd known I would have brought more, something else to drink, would have brought more to drink. So I reckon we're probably about a couple of minutes off ring walk. I would imagine. Wouldn't imagine we're too far off the ring walks now. So as we wait and see, I'll pop out this chat. What else? What am I missing? Katie Taylor, top 3 women in boxing. Marshall, #1. Yeah, Savannah Marshall is a great fighter. She is. She's huge at the weight though. Absolutely massive. I think Clarissa Shields is meant to fight next week, but I think that fight's gone altogether because it was meant to be on the Eubank undercard, and that's being moved till January. I don't know if they're still going to have her on that card or if they're just pushing her fight back to some other stage because the original plan was for her and Marshall to have the same card. We Nigel at 2-1 to win inside 6. 2-1 inside 6. Um, hmm. How much would you put down? That's not bad. Maybe stick a cheeky fiver on that. Maybe stick a cheeky fiver on that. They're showing like some skills here. Work behind the jab. See, Ben's jab is good when he's fighting guys who are just not moving their head and stationary. And do you remember when Ben knocked out or stopped, I should say, Vargas, and he called out Sean Porter? I mean, Sean Porter, you could argue, was winning in terms of rounds against Terence Crawford, and he wanted to fight Sean Porter. Imagine what Sean Porter would have done to him. They're saying no unnecessary risks. I think with Algieri, it'd be all right. Like unless you're absolutely Amir Khan level chinny, you should be okay. He said he lost. He said he lost. He said the last honest boxer was Rich Woodhall, but he decisioned Glenn Catley and Ed Meyer, though he lost. It's hard to read somebody so far away. How would you see Broner fighting against Ben? Matt Broner's washed. I seen that they were mentioning Adrian Broner, and it wouldn't shock me if they tried to do that in the new year. They'd have to offer Broner a hell of a lot of money. But man, did you see Broner's last fight against what was he? Was he a janitor? Like literally, that was his job. Broner's not looked good for years now, many years. Like realistically, the last kind of semi-decent Broner performance, Jesus, Ashley Fife. How many years ago was that? Broner's not really impressed me at all lately. He's really looked a shell of himself. Yeah, Broner is done. Yeah, Adrian Broner's been looking an absolute wash the last few years. He really has. Hasn't been looking good at all. Has not been looking good at all. They're showing a lot of Nigel Benn in these clips. Like this is literally like the training montages and stuff. It's all Nigel Benn. And going back to Woods and Bellew. I won on Robbie Davis inside 6. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. If Ben wins, he'll put it all on. Oh, Loma. Yeah, I forgot about that fight actually. Lomachenko. Forgot about him actually. Yeah, he should do it. I think he'll do it between them rounds as well. Between rounds 9 and 12, I think is a safe one. I think he'll stop Comey, but he'll stop him late. Stop him in between, be a cumulative effect. Another interview with Conor Benn. Jeez, they love interviewing this guy. They love the training montage and stuff like that. I'm just waiting for this to start. So him against Algieri. And then we obviously got the ring walks. We got all that other stuff as well. Build up will be quality. But yeah, build up will be great crack. You know, Broner is the entertaining, and like, don't get me wrong, he's always been an entertaining character. But yeah, he's way over the hill at this stage. Is AB way over the hill? Like he is finished, man. Adrian Broner is donezo. So him against Benn, I wouldn't like to see it. I wouldn't like to see it because if you want to talk about like really step up the levels, Broner is not a step up. Broner is definitely not a step up. Someone says Maya Jama left the zone already. No, apparently she's not. Apparently they're only kind of going to use her for the big fights. So like next week, I think she's on the zone. They probably use her for like Dylan White if he was fighting, kind of stuff like that. They're only going to use Maya Jama for the big fights. I prefer Laura Woods personally. When will the be? I'm hoping soon, man. I'm hoping soon. I'd say in the next 10 minutes. I'd say in the next 10 minutes, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'm hoping soon. I think they might be starting it. I think the ring walks might be starting soon because there's not much happening. Maya Jama has a birthday party to attend tonight. Yeah, like she was out. I think for 2 weeks in fight camp because of her birth. She's missed a load of events, but I think now they only have her down for the big shows. So fans in attendance singing away. I think we're getting ready for this. I think we're getting ready for ring walks. Conor thinks he will get a world title. Can't see that happening. I can't see Conor Benn winning the world. I'd be very surprised if he did. No offense, like I just the welterweight division has a lot of talent in there and up and coming. Has it started yet? Jim McDonald? No, it hasn't. I think we're literally getting ready for the ring walk. Reckon Eddie Hearn will match him against Maurice Hooker. That right there is a great show. And personally, I would like that's a good match. That's a good match, I think, because Hooker is still quite relevant. You know, I don't think I think Conor Benn should win that because I think he's probably seen better days from Maurice Hooker, but he's a recent world champion. He lost that title in unification. His only other loss was against uh, Virgil Ortiz, and you know he buzzed Virgil Ortiz in that. So I think that would be a brilliant for matchmaking. I think that'd be brilliant. It's a risk. Don't get me wrong. It is a risk, but I think that would be a great match. I think that'd be a great. If Conor Benn wins that, that's a great little name to have. You know, because you've beaten a former world champion, recent world champion, who's only lost to Jose Ramirez, who's only lost to Josh Taylor, and to not Ennis, only lost to Ortiz, who to flip a coin between him and Boots, who's your top prospect at welterweight or who's your top contender at welterweight. It's one of the two. So I like that. And you know, you look at Hooker, he's had 3 draws on his resume. And that fight with Terry Flanagan, he won the fight, but it was close. Close enough that fight with Terry Flanagan. And that was a couple of years ago. That was on Fury's comeback. That was against Fury. That was on the undercard of Fury versus Safiri, Sefa Safiri. Remember that in Manchester? Remember that? Well, I watched that at a pub, and every, everyone even in the pub was pissed off at that fight, the Safiri fight, because they were like, we expected so much more. This was just so lackluster. It was like, yeah, it wasn't great. Yeah, I agree with what Simon says there. If Benn knocks out Algieri, Eddie will make it sound like he's already beaten Ennis. Yeah, well, if Benn knocks out Algieri, it'll be a case of, well, he's him and Errol Spence. He's done something that Manny Pacquiao couldn't do. He'll make it out like it was a prime Pacquiao who fought um, Algieri. You know, Algieri, I'd say Algieri's going to be fiddly in this fight. Like maybe he'll get stopped late, but he'll probably go the distance. Probably, but he's been so much easier to hit lately. Like he fought Tommy Coyle on the undercard of AJ Ruiz, the first fight, and I was quite surprised how easy Tommy Coyle was having to hit him. Now he said in that fight the reason he was getting hit so much was because he was trying to force the stoppage. And to an extent, I agree. He was. You could tell Chris Algieri was looking for the stoppage in that fight. But still, against Tommy Coyle to be getting hit that much was a word. And he was buzzed. I think in the third round, he was buzzed quite badly by Coyle. You know, so it'll be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see. how Algieri copes against Conor Benn. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to this. 111 in the chat. If you could, lads and lassies, last time I'll ask, smash the like button. If you could, smash the like button to help your boy out. Help me out big time. Get the old algorithms recommending the channel and all that good stuff. Yes, get the algorithms recommending the channel and all that good stuff. So, you just wait for the entrance of Conor Benn, and let me know your guys' pick. Leave it in the chat. Let me know your pick. You going with what round are you going with? And if you're not going with rounds, you're going with points. See what some people on Discord are saying. Is it just me, or does Chris Algieri look like Carl Frampton? I don't see any resemblance there at all. I literally don't see any resemblance to Carl Frampton at all. I hate this announcer. Diamante is not bad. Diamante is not bad. I don't mind Diamante. He's not everyone's cup of tea, but I don't really mind Diamante too much. Ben will get battered against both them guys. Jesus. Get steamrolled against both them guys. Definitely. Ben versus Marku. Yeah, that'd be a great little scrap. I'm surprised. I think maybe they're trying to do Marku. They're trying to move Marku in a different direction. Not that they're trying to duck Ben, but Marku, it's crazy. Like, he fought that 8-rounder a couple of weeks ago, and you'd swear it was a world title fight. It was just crazy, and it was smart by Sky to have him on after the main event, because Richard Riakporhe fought Duradola, and I was like, why are they having Ting on so late? Because it gave the illusion that this was like a big turnout. Because I was like, why are they not starting to fight with Ting why are they started so late? It's because basically so many people came from Marku that if he'd fought like co-main, it would have all left before the main. I just want to see Conor Benn fall flat on his legs and double cook. I'd like to see Conor Benn take on Mickey in the next 1 or 2 fights. Ring walks now. Yep. Conor Benn, Chris Algieri. 199 rounds for Chris Algieri. Wow. Yeah, 32% knockout ratio. So here we are. Both guys are in the ring. David Diamante doing the announcements. It's going to be interesting. I think be interested to see how Algieri starts. Interested to see how Algieri starts this fight. But I can easily see it. I have a funny feeling he's just going to come out negative. I have a feeling he's going to come out negative. Now, Algieri has at times tried to pressure opponents, like against Amir Khan. He did that. It worked. Well, he lost the fight, but he was a lot more competitive than we thought he would be in that fight. So it'll be interesting to see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this right here. Just be careful. This is going to die. I had that on the charger for the phone, so the phone is good now. All I got was battered onion rings. Yeah, I remember that story. Carl Froch. We all put a tenner in. No, I only got battered onion rings. You have a bit of a nut to get fear tattooed on your neck. I don't have any tattoos. I don't have any. Bob Williams is the referee. He's a decent referee, Bob Williams. Not really known for quick stoppages. I saw Howard Foster on this card earlier, and I was thinking, oh, please don't let him be the referee in the main event. Bob Williams is a decent referee, it has to be said. But Howard Foster is one of them where the minute a fighter's buzz, just stop the fight. So that's key. We're getting ready to go. What time are we at now? 10:15. Oh, man. I'm tired, man. This has been 2 hours of non-stop chatting. I mean, I used to look at it and think, these must be easy. They're not, man. They're hard. It's hard to chat for 2 hours straight. Conor Benn, the Australian Cockney year. That's where Conor Benn was raised, wasn't it? Was it Australia? Or that's where Nigel was living for a time. Algieri, former WBO 140-pound champion. He's getting his ring announcement there. Yep. So Algieri versus Benn. See, it's gonna be interesting. The Lucozade isn't working, isn't it? Nah, man. I drink it for the taste, not for the energy. And I finished it anyway, so it didn't work. Try chatting for 2 hours straight. It's not easy. Apples and pears, like Eddie Hearn. Chris should retire. Yeah, I actually thought he was. I thought he was pretty much done after the Tommy Coyle fight. I thought he wanted to have a couple of wins and just kind of sail off into the sunset because he's been doing his punditry and he's actually a good pundit. You know, if you've ever seen Chris Algieri as a pundit, he is quite good. I give him that. He is a good pundit. He certainly is. But as a fighter, like his best days were kind of 2013 to kind of 2015. They were kind of peak Algieri, but he's not really done much since then, like in boxing anyway. So we go into the main event. Conor Benn getting his announcement. David Diamante. Anyone know where I can stream the fight? There, there is plenty of websites where you can get it, mate. That's all I'll say. I can't put any in the chat because the video will get taken down. But if you just Google search it, you'll find one. Yes, if you just Google search it, you'll find one. Ain't he at the same? Ain't he a dietitian to some boxers? Yeah, he is. Danny Jacobs and I think a few others. Algieri used to do well. I don't know if he still does them, but he used to do YouTube videos showing how to cook, like make eggs and stuff like that. Like, let's go. Here we go. We about to start. So we're at 1 of 12. Algieri versus Benn. Who's training Algieri? I remember he used to be trained by John David Jackson at one stage. And he comes out swinging. All right, fast start. Algieri ran across the ring to Conor Benn. Conor Benn straight on the jab. Algieri moving around the ring. Yeah, it was a fast start by both guys. No, Conor Benn. Algieri working the jab by Algieri. Algieri appears to have the longer arms. So he should be able to get a good start with the back of the jab. But a good body shot from Conor Benn. Goes in there and lands. Conor Benn really stamping his feet in when he throws them shots. Really trying to get maximum torque and power into them. Now, Algieri already was complaining there a second ago about a shot to the back of the head. It's not a good sign when that's happening first thing. So go, nice shot from Conor Benn around the guard. Algieri tucking up. I'm hoping that's not going to be how this fight goes, where it's just Algieri tucking up the whole way through. But a good start from Conor Benn, definitely. Algieri throws a right, not really on it. Conor Benn slips it. Body shot goes in from Conor Benn. And he's back on the jab. Conor Benn just looking for openings, looking to spot a hole in the Algieri defense, looking to jump in with right hand, I suspect. Algieri up on his toes, bouncing around. And a nice little body shot. Nice jab to the body by Conor Benn. Doesn't bring the arms down of Algieri, but it's there. And another shot to the body from Conor Benn. Left hook, followed by a right hand. Algieri blocks them on the guard. There's not really much come back from Algieri. It's like he's waiting. Conor Benn instantly buys a feint there, though. So Algieri's holding the feint. Conor Benn took it. So maybe Algieri is looking for spots, looking to get his work. There's a right hand that lands from Algieri, but again, not much on it. And there was a right hand from Benn that did have something on it. So Algieri making a slow start. I think it's going the way I expected. Algieri just kind of looking to throw wherever he can, but Benn throwing the more hard and powerful shots. And Algieri just tucking up, moving around the ring, staying up on his toes. So jab goes in from Algieri. Algieri should be using that a little bit more. Left hook lands in from Algieri as well. It's been a good start this from Conor Benn, has to be said. Not Benn. Yeah, looking to find some holes there. And Algieri looking to come in and land his shots, land in some power shots. Misses with a right hand, skims the head of Algieri. And the jab then pushes the guard of Algieri back. So again, as I said, good opening start from Conor Benn. Quick start. Algieri's more game so far than Granados was. That's for definite. But he's again, I know, nice little jab there from Algieri lands on Conor Benn. Not really much on it. Not much of an impactful shot. Ben looking to go downstairs. Algieri misses there with a right hand over the top. Again, the left hook that just grazes Conor Benn. So decent opening start from both guys. That's definitely a Conor Benn round. Has to be. He landed the more clean, effective shots. Algieri's trainer is Jarko Santos. So Amir Khan, he was trained by John David Jackson. That's an underrated trainer, actually, is John David Jackson. Good opening round. Yep. I was worried that we might see Algieri just running around the ring that little bit too much. I was worried. I really was. Thankfully, they're advertising The Matrix. Please let that be a good movie. Please let that be a good movie. Don't ruin The Matrix, please. Don't ruin it. I'll be watching that. I'll definitely be streaming that movie when it comes out. Please don't ruin The Matrix. Most modern makes of movies that happen in the 2090s, they're normally crap. Okay. So again, it was a good opening start from Conor Benn. Algieri was a lot more game than I thought he would be. He ran out as soon as that bell went in the first round. So again, Conor Benn looking to get the right hand landed, misses Chris Algieri, but then setting up the jab. Dude, I like what he's doing with the jab to the body. He's trying to bring the arms of Chris Algieri down. I see what he's trying to do with that. Algieri's not doing. He's not fighting. I don't know if it's landing flush either. But some good body shots from Conor Benn go in there, and Algieri returns the left hook. But some decent looking body shots. They look hurtful, them shots from Conor Benn to the body. He's really putting a lot of power into them. He's really trying to swing with full force, I should say. So again, nice little shot from Conor Benn. Algieri hooking up well now. Doing a good job riding the shots. And lands some shots there on Conor Benn. Again, not much on him, and Algieri's not a noted puncher, but still finding a few holes in Conor Benn's defense. That's for damn sure. Again, complaining about shots in the head, was looking to throw an uppercut there. Uppercut might be a good shot for Chris Algieri, actually, in this fight. I would advise if you can get inside, let that uppercut go, actually. But again, keeping his distance quite well. Benn waiting for openings. Algieri looking to time and counter with the right hand coming in. Conor Benn is able to move his head. Some good shots from Conor Benn there, trying to get it by Algieri again. Guard up. Looking to establish a jab. Again, this stream is so choppy. But lead right hand from Algieri, Benn to the body. The jab's falling short from Conor Benn, and if they do land, they're not getting through the guard. Algieri has that high guard up. Interesting. Oh, so again, some hard shots from Conor Benn going in there, but that's a good shot. Lands right through the guard of Algieri. Landed on the forehead, or landed on the side of the forehead, I should say. Didn't appear to buzz Algieri, but he definitely knows Conor Benn is there. I don't think Conor Benn is going to have much of a hard time trying to find Algieri for some reason. Algieri doesn't seem to want to take too much of a step back. More good, right? They're not landing, but they're hard shots. Algieri's got to be mindful of that. Again, it's another good round for Conor Benn. I like what I'm seeing. He's doing well. Oh, is that a knock? Oh, that is that's a bizarre knockdown. That is a knockdown. That's bizarre though. That's a bizarre knockdown. I'll have to see a replay of that. It did look like a punch went in there, but it looked so much more of a balance thing. That's a bizarre. He literally did a rollover. That was weird. I've never seen. That's weird. Lands a right hand on Conor Benn though, coming in. I have to see a replay of that. That was a weird looking knockdown. That was a weird looking knockdown. That was a knockdown. Knockdown, yeah. It looked like a shot went in, but it just kind of happened. I'll have to see a replay of this. Let's see. So Benn throws a body shot, and then it kind of lands around the side of the ear. It did look more, but that's a weird knockdown though. But definitely, it's weird. It's kind of almost like a grazing shot like that. I That's how I look. See, yeah, you could say it was the punch. It was definitely seemed more balanced than anything else, but that was strange. I've never seen a fire go down like that. That's strange. Definitely wasn't a concussive shot though. Yeah, it was a knockdown. It was, but I don't think Algieri was particularly buzzed or hurt. Just in my opinion, it didn't look that way. It looked more balanced, but I've never seen a fighter do a little roll over like that. So Conor Benn knows he's got a bit of power there, but you still need to be mindful of defense because he did walk onto a right hand near the end of that round. That was thrown by Chris Algieri. So Algieri knows that Benn has a bit of pop there. You know, he's not a devastating puncher as Conor Benn, but he definitely hits hard enough. Nice right hand from Chris Algieri goes in there. Benn again trying to chase, trying to put Algieri back up again the ropes, but when Algieri moves, Benn has to follow him. And almost got hit with a left hook there. Some more shots come in from Conor Benn. That was a bit low. He threw a shot there that looked a bit low from Conor Benn, but Algieri doesn't complain. Gets hit with some more body shots. Algieri's working his jab a lot more, and Conor Benn's head movement is okay. He lands his own jab. Not bad head movement there from Conor Benn. Algieri's working a bit harder in this round, it seems. He's already down 3 points on my scorecard. So some good shots from Conor Benn go in there. That seemed to rock Chris Algieri. Left hook goes in. Benn really starting to load up now in this round. Algieri fighting back, but he's missing Conor Benn. Conor Benn's moving his head quite well. Algieri just back. Both guys are back in the center of the ring. That was a good. Oh, Conor Benn walks onto a right hand. There's a bit mindful. Bit mindful of your defense, Conor. When you're coming in, just don't leave yourself exposed like that. Algieri's not a puncher, but if you do that against someone who hits hard, it could be bad news. Conor Benn definitely another right hand from Algieri lands on Conor Benn. Again, not devastating punches, but that was against someone more pop. You know all about it. Algieri with a body shots moves around the ring. Better round for Algieri, but it's still a Conor Benn round so far. Trying to land some more shots on Algieri up again the ropes. Has him up again the ropes, but not anything landing. Doing a good job tucking up as Algieri. Benn just trying to get into an exchange. Not really anything lands. Algieri have to guard up again. Throws a nice body shot from Algieri. Benn, it seems to be as though Benn is looking to just get these attacks going instantly, and then just get the shots going off, and then just rest for a couple of seconds, and then launch another attack when he feels safe. But yeah, working his jab again on Chris Algieri. Chris Algieri lands a little counter left hook there on Benn. You need to be mindful of that as he comes in. And a body shot right hand to the body by Algieri. Better round this for Algieri. I would still edge this round towards Conor Benn personally. But definitely for sure better round for Chris Algieri. A lot more competitive. But still, eye-catching shots come from Conor Benn. Although he's taking a few shots when he comes in. He's being counted a little bit. But yes. Yes, so we see. I need to just. So how do you guys have it now going into the fifth? You got it. For me personally, you have to give Conor Benn these rounds. There's just no other way. But Algieri is definitely game. I'll give him that. He's a lot more. I thought he would be a little bit more defensively sound. I thought he'd be looking to just kind of move around the ring and not engage Conor Benn and just work his way, fiddle his way to a 12 round loss. But if he's going out, I think he's going to go out on a shield. I'm just waiting for this. Okay, so let's go into the fourth round. So more of the same. Algieri still on the jab. These streams are so choppy for me today this evening. It's been horrible. Ben is looking. What he's trying to do is every time he's stepping in with that jab, he's looking to throw a big overhand right. Now, Algieri, Algieri's doing a good job getting away from some of them rights. It has to be. He's moving his head down low, and Ben is kind of just swinging over. But that body shot doesn't land clean, and they're in a clinch. Algieri get Ben up again the ropes. Algieri trying to find the inside, but a lot of them shots are missing. As I said earlier on, I think the uppercut might be good for Algieri because if he throws that, he might have a bit of success getting that through Conor Benn's defense. I just have a feeling he might. But a nice little left hook there from Algieri. Again, he's doing a lot more than I thought he would, but he's just not really having much success. Conor Benn is definitely in control. Throughout this fight, Conor Benn looks completely in control. Doesn't seem to be fearful of what's coming back from Chris Algieri. I'm really impressed with Ben. Yeah, he's been looking good. I have to say, I'll give him that. He's looking good in this fight. The Granados fight, I thought he was guilty of following Granados a bit too much and just looking to land shots that were never there. If you get me, and the cutting the ring off wasn't amazingly effective. But he is looking better in this fight, I have to say. Now, Algieri is more game than Granados, it has to be said. But he's definitely looking better. Even when Algieri is opening up and throwing shots, they're not really landing. The head movement's good from Ben. He's keeping his range very well. He's getting caught with a few little shots coming in, but nothing you really worry too much about. It's a good jab from Conor Benn again. Like what I see from Conor Benn, head movement is good. Good jab there, lands on from Conor Benn on Chris Algieri. A good thing I would say for Conor Benn would be brilliant! Oh, what a roll! Wow! Oh my God! Oh wow! Oh dear, that was a wow! Yeah. Well, I didn't see that coming. That was a great shot from Conor Benn. Didn't see that coming. Lord have mercy. That was each of a shot. Each of a shot from Conor Benn. Did not see that coming at all. Algieri's in a bad way. Ooh. Great shot from Conor Benn. Very, very good shot. Well, people, I have a post-fight review to make. So, let me know what you guys thought of that, and I will go make my post-fight review, and I will talk to you in a wee bit, unless I'll stay on, but I think we're good to go. I've got to go and talk about this fight, and yeah, that was, damn. One punch knockout. Now that I didn't see coming. I really didn't. That I didn't see coming at all. Damn. Great shot from Conor Benn. Really was. Really was a great shot from Conor Benn. Fair play to him. People, 100 in the chat. If you could, smash the like button. That's the first live watch along done. I enjoyed it. 2.5 hours talking. Got one more thing to do, which is do a full post-fight review, give my 2 cents on it. I'll talk to you then. Peace.